You will not be able to stay home, brother.
This is the Parley, a place where guests are required to put their money where their mouth is, where we double down on the discourse and conversation. That's the only currency accepted. Proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network.
Welcome to another edition of the Parley, proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network. And as that lady off the top of the show just said, this is the place where conversation is the only currency accepted. I'm one of your hosts, the Godfather Nate Milton, aka your favorite podcaster, aka Mr. Steal Your Auntie. Over 10 years in the game, ain't a damn thing changed. And I am joined today by a brother who goes by many titles, many monikers, many nicknames, if you will. Some people call him Red Hat Ray. Some people call him Caitlin Dark because he's the Caitlin Clark of podcast production. Some folks call him the Milkman, the King of Calcium. But I just call this brother my tag team partner and my friend. Y'all give it up for one of the coldest producers in the game, Two-Way Ray Williams. What's up, brother?
Nate. Everything's well. Everything's well. I'm rocking the Mystics gear as always. Represent.
Okay.
But yeah, brother. Always a pleasure to join you, and I'm very happy to get into what we got going on today.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. Obviously, for those that are subscribed to the network, make sure you smash that subscribe button so that you get a notification whenever we go live, ladies and gentlemen. But this man, Ray Williams, was live this past weekend watching one of the most thrilling UFC main events we have ever seen in our lifetimes. So Ray, anything you want to catch the viewer or the listener that may have missed that up on, because you know, if you thought Rousey Carano was generational, Ray, wait until you hear about this man, proper 12 himself, Conor McGregor, on these streets.
Well, I will say this. So there was UFC 329. It was a culmination of International Fight Week, which they usually have every year. Some of the festivities were the induction of the class of 2026 into the UFC Hall of Fame, where it featured fighters such as Demetrius Johnson, former flyweight champion, longtime flyweight champion, former middleweight champion Chris Weidman, former bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz. Also featured going into the fight wing, the first fight between Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili, which is widely considered the greatest women's fight and one of the greatest fights without any qualifiers of all time. So it was great for those people to get inducted and to see them have their life's work recognized. It was great to see. And then we move on to the fights, and And for the most part, like leading up to the main event, like all the fights were phenomenal. You had some great fights. You had a terrific submission from Patty the Batty Pimblett to get himself back on his winning ways after losing in the lightweight interim championship fight against Justin Gaethje, who just unified the belts at UFC Freedom 250. So it was good to see Patty get back on his winning ways and kind of put himself back in to number one contendership or floating around such, and see if he can get a rematch. It was also great to see Corey Sandhagen and Mario Bautista. They had a decent little fight between the two. Mario Bautista almost pretty much shattered every ligament in Corey Sandhagen's knee on purpose with a knee bar. But Sandhagen toughed it out through the second and third rounds. It was a great fight. Bautista picked up the win. King Green pulling a victory out of the jaws of defeat. Was getting submerged with strikes from Terrence McKinney, was getting just thrashed upon and almost choked, but he was defending well. And with 20 seconds left, got back to his feet, knew that McKinney was tired, and he started to go forth with his offense, landed a kick to the body alongside with a left hook to the solar plexus, puts McKinney down. And with the horn sounding at the end of the round, the referee calls the fight King Green with perhaps the comeback of the year. And then we got the fight of the night, which could also go into one of the best fights of the year between Lonnie Kavanaugh and Brandon Royval, just going back and forth, each fighter dropping the other within the first two rounds. Brandon Royval almost getting the submission win via head and arm choke in the second round. Then we go to the third round. Again, guys going tit for tat with their punches and with their strikes, just landing at will on each other. And then finally, Royval gets the takedown, gets the mount, takes the back, gets the rear naked choke submission. So the main card itself, and we also saw the debut of Gable Steveson, Olympic champion wrestler, also two-time NCAA champion. A lot of hype on him, especially with him being in the camp with John Jones as his main, or one of his main training partners, and also his coach alongside Mike Winklejohn and Greg Jackson. Him getting tested early in his fight against Elisha Ellison, getting tested early to see if he's able to take strikes. He was able to take those strikes and also give some out, showed a great range of striking with his kicks, a la John Jones, with some of those oblique kicks and also some calf kicks and some side kicks to the body as well, mixing it in with some tie clinches and getting some knees up to the head and body of Ellison, and then was able to finish Ellison off with a right hook, puts Ellison down. He was able to match it with the ground and pound to get the stoppage for his first ever UFC victory and his first ever outing with the promotion. So everything was leading up to what we thought was going to be and sorry, something just popped up on the screen. All right. What we thought was going to be
It was Dana White with the cease and desist.
Sorry.
Dana said, "Don't you finish that sentence, Ray."
Nah, I'm not. I'm not playing no video. So as he would say, he cannot put me in federal effing prison. So I'm not playing. I'm not playing it back. But then we get to our main event, which was highly touted. Of course, the long-time return of the notorious Conor McGregor after a 5-year absence from his last fight, which he endured a leg-shattering injury. Had some starts and stops as far as when he was going to come back initially, but finally the time has come. He would be going against Max Blessed Holloway in a rematch about 12, 13 years in the making. And we were all set. We were all set, Brother Nate, for a great fight between the two. But where are we? Here we go. That was not to be, brother. Within the first 5 seconds, when Conor McGregor tries to perform a jumping switch kick, he lands awkwardly on his right leg. You could tell immediately that something was wrong. He went crumpled to the ground, but he was trying to kind of mask it with him scooting up into his open guard, trying to play jujitsu. He gets back up to his feet. He tries to throw a standard round kick again with his right leg, or with his left leg, and trying to support himself with his right leg. Crumples down again. The commentators thinks that, oh, he's just slipping. Is it something slippery out there? What's going on the canvas? So goes down again, proceeds to get back up. Nothing to worry. He tries to go into his stance, and then even through his punches, crumples down again. Max Holloway then notices something is wrong. Max Holloway's trying to get the attention of the referee, let him know there's something going on. I don't want to hurt him if he's like injured, but the referee tells him to fight. Max Holloway says in the post-fight press conference that Conor tells him to keep fighting. So Max tries to throw some strikes while standing up in the open guard of Conor McGregor. Doesn't last really long. He lets McGregor back up one final time. McGregor eats a leg kick to the left leg, which was previously injured in the last fight. He eats that kick. He's okay, but then as he tries to get himself back into his stance, gingerly hops on the right leg. Max Holloway again begging the referee to stop it. Referee Mike Beltran stops the fight. 1 minute, 9 seconds into the very first round, Brother Nate. It's all over. Conor McGregor loses via TKO. Max Holloway gets the win, not the way that he wanted to. And then Max Holloway in the in-cage post-fight interview tries to drum up some sympathy for Conor McGregor and says, we got to run it back for the trilogy. Nobody was feeling that.
Like, no, we don't, brother.
No, we don't.
We didn't even have to run this one.
I know. I think Max is thinking about getting that bag back, but it's like, nah, brother, this was a one and done. So that's how it was, and it's a shame. And myself and Brother Jay, we talked about it in what will be the latest episode of Styles Break Fights. I am under the impression that this is the last we see of Conor McGregor in the cage. I had doubts that he was going to show up for this fight, Brother Nate. Even when he was walking out, I'm like, it's not too late, brother. You can always turn and run. But little did I know that the fight would play out like this. I thought even with Conor McGregor, even if he did not get injured, I thought he was going to get pummeled. They're showing all these clips to hype up the fight, but people fail to realize that those clips were from about 10, 12 years ago when he was smaller, younger, more agile, with less injuries plaguing him, and when he was fighting consistently. But now we get an older Conor who hasn't been in the cage to fight competitively for 5 years, and also having some other things staining his reputation of his own making, namely him settling, or not settling, but him being found civilly liable for rape and sexual assault of Nikita Hand back in 2024. There's also other cases that are either similar to that or him just randomly punching and fighting people who don't want to punch and fight and who are not getting paid to punch and fight. So yeah, and then he tries to come back during this fight week, tries to rehabilitate his image with saying that, oh, he's found God and he's a Christian now. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to say this injury couldn't have happened to a nicer fella, brother Nate.
You know, Ray, I am not quite as astute in the mixed martial arts game as somebody like you or Jay or our good sis Chinyere Okafor.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you and I had a difference of opinion when it came to the Rousey Carano fight, Ray. And you know, we'll just agree to disagree on that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But as a professional fighter, in the main event of this fight that people paid good money to see, you can't have Sophie Cunningham, Maga Barbie on these streets, walking around the ring with the card, last longer than the damn fight, Ray Williams. Took Sophie about a minute and 30 seconds to walk around the cage, to walk around the octagon, pointing at people the whole time. Like, who was you pointing at, Sophie Cunningham? That lasted longer than Holloway McGregor 2. And so, yes, like, to somebody that is a casual MMA viewer these days, the outcome didn't surprise me because I predicted Holloway was going to get the dub, but just the way it happened and Conor, you know, there's been some talk today, I guess, that, you know, was there a pre-existing injury? Did this camp know about this? Was this something that they hid from the media leading up to the fight? I don't know, Ray, but what I do know is there is no sympathy that is going to be garnered for Conor McGregor because of a lot of stuff that's happened outside of the cage that you went down the list of. And so, yeah, it sucks to see. It ruined what could have been. No, it couldn't have been, Ray. We knew what this was. It wasn't going to be a great fight, but at least you would have had a more satisfying conclusion to the main event on a card that otherwise sounded like it was a good card. But then the other thing here is when you have somebody like a Conor McGregor who still has a name, but back in the day, he had the game to match the name.
Yes.
He could back it up in the fights. He can't do that no more, Ray.
Right.
Not against credible competition. And so, yeah, I think he still has one fight left with his UFC contract.
Yes.
But at this point, like, maybe when he gets healed up, you do one more fight as just kind of a ride off into the sunset kind of fight. But I can't see Conor fighting any more meaningful fights at this point in his career, Ray.
Yeah, I don't see that as well. And me and Jay talked about it. We think I think he was just going through the motions. I think he was doing everything during the fight week that we thought Conor usually should be doing. Like, he went through all the motions, the trash talking and the braggadocio and the getting in the face of Max Holloway and did all this stuff. And then come fight night, like he did the shaving his head into the mohawk, kind of going back to old Conor when he was still hungry. But you could tell, like I couldn't tell real time, but just seeing other people kind of break it down, like just him in the cage, even him walking out was not his usual self. And brother Nate, I would excuse you if you thought this fight was a little fishy. Like, if you, I would excuse you more for that one than the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano one. But yeah, I wouldn't fault you at all if you thought this one was not on the up and up, as they say. But yeah, when they talked about, and it was funny too that during the during the post fight, and John Anik and DC and Joe Rogan are kind of talking about it. John Anik throws to a video. Before he throws to it, he's saying, we are not opening up any speculation. We just want to show you this video without commentary. I was like, you know what you're doing, John Anik.
Mhm.
And then it proceeds to show video of him at the cage prep point, taking off his shoes, and then him stumbling a little bit. I'm like, first of all, that's on the wrong leg. That's like, and second of all, I wouldn't say that necessarily was indicative of him being hurt before, because they were also showing clips of him at the press conference on that Thursday, like rushing towards Max Holloway to kind of face off with him. And it seems like he was good then. And at the prep, or not the prep point, but when he was working out during the rest of the fights leading up to the main event, they were kind of throwing back to show him hitting pads and also just showing his movement in the locker room. And it seemed like he was doing well with just his front and back, side to side, and lateral movement with his footwork. So yeah, who knows if he came into it with a previous injury. We know that the fight that he should have had a couple years ago against Max, or not Max Holloway, but Michael Chandler, he did have to pull out like weeks before the fight due to injuring his pinky toe. And that could be a part of the movement as well. So yeah, me and brother Jay Lacey, we talked about it. Jay Lacey is under the impression that if he doesn't fight again in the UFC, because we both don't think that even with the fight left on his deal, that UFC is going to take another chance. I think this was like his last. I think this was his last hurrah with the organization. But brother Jay is under the impression that he'll go off. He'll go off and take the Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano route with Jake Paul, and he'll end up in MVP MMA somehow. And I was telling him it was interesting that he came to that conclusion because there was a commercial. Well, first off, he brought up, and I noticed it as well. Right before the main event, UFC always loves to tag different posts from threads now, since they're really in bed with Meta and with Facebook and all that good stuff. So they were putting some threads up from fight fans and from MMA personalities and folks that follow and the sport, and also other fighters. They also put this post up from Parley Market, which they have a sponsorship as well with. They said, I think the post said on Parley Market that someone just bet $900,000 on Max Holloway, and the payout would be $1.2 million if it lands. I'm sure it wasn't you, brother Ned. I'm sure you wouldn't have showed up if that was you. But then I'm like, wow, that's odd that they would put that right before the fight. Like, I thought as I'm watching the fight, it's like, this is pretty odd that they're doing this. But okay. And then I bring up to brother Nate that they're having Parley Market commercials. One features Conor McGregor, and it looks like he's out of shape. He's a slob. He has like a fat suit on with all of his tattoos on, and then he's looking through like his mentions or whatever, and they were like, man, you got to look at this. They're counting you out. And then it's like one post that scrolls by and says Conor, or it says, this guy is one loss away from fighting a Paul brother. I was like, oh, if truer words have never been spoken. Now that we see all of this playing out, yeah, I think brother Jay's prediction may end up coming true and proving that life is imitating art in this particular instance. So
Well, the crazy thing is, if that does happen, that fight's still going to do numbers because
Yes.
those boys know how to put on a circus, and that's all it would be at this point is a spectacle, a sideshow, a carnival. But there is still there's not an appeal to me with the name of Conor McGregor anymore, but to a segment of the audience, there is still that name appeal to a Conor McGregor, and they'll tune in. Like I still got some people on my Facebook feed that are like, man, he should fight Floyd again. Like for what? For who?
Right.
Don't nobody need to see that. I had friends, the same friends, mind you, the night of the Conor Floyd boxing match, and they were like, man, Conor's gonna win. He's just a much better striker. And I'm like, this is what we doing here, people. This is what we doing. This man proper number 12. I wonder, now that he's a Christian, is he still going to sell a proper 12 or is it going to turn into the proper 12 disciples? We don't know, Ray Williams.
Well, the proper 12 disciples.
The proper 12 disciples. have a drink for each apostle, mate.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because after all this stuff happened with the settlement with or not the settlement, I keep calling it a settlement, but the trial did go forward to a verdict. But after him being held civilly liable, I think he broke up with Proper 12. I think he sold it all.
Interesting.
And in some of the interviews that he's been doing on his comeback tour, his quote unquote comeback tour, he was saying how him getting involved with Proper 12 was the reason that he kind of sunk into like alcoholism, and but he didn't mention other stuff that he is alleged to be getting into, any other substances that he was alleged to get into. So
also, don't put that on proper number 12, Conor.
Exactly.
Because if you didn't own the whiskey company, I'm sure you would find whiskey elsewhere. Just because you own a brewery, just because you own a whiskey distillery, Ray, don't mean you an alcoholic. Cody Rose ain't on these streets getting drunk off of Wheatley every night, dog.
Right. That is correct.
Don't blame it on the alcohol, Conor. You ain't Jamie Foxx, brother.
Yeah, exactly. This just proves like his lack of accountability with certain things. And I used to love Conor, man. I used to love. Matter of fact, I only picked this up because I saw it was like the only one, and because there's only one Conor McGregor, as the song goes on. But I was in the Walmart and I saw this figure.
Okay.
Conor McGregor. I don't even think they make these anymore, but he was my favorite fighter, brother. And he was like my favorite fighter, seeing him come up and just seeing all of the different not anxieties, but all of the different things that he was going through, the trials and tribulations that he was going through to make it. And it seemed, even though he was doing a lot of talk, like you said, he was backing it up, and he was always like afterwards, he was always self-aware enough to know that, hey, and one quote that always sticks with me that he says, I'm confident in my preparation, I'm cocky in my prediction, but I'm always humble in victory or defeat. And that's the biggest thing that I loved about Conor when he was coming up. It's kind of like, we want the old Kanye. But it's just like this brother, he got it. Like he knew that he had to sell the fight, but he also knew that he had to stay grounded, and he knew that there were certain things within his camp that would keep him grounded. But I think once he got really big to the point where he was the face of the sport, and then he was out here going, like you said, with the Floyd Mayweather fight, like going and getting that bag. It's just like, and now you're like world renowned. It's not like you're just held within the sport or held within the sports world as a celebrity, but now you're pretty much like a celebrity across the globe now. And he was pretty much the face of the Irish nation for a long time. But then I think he started to lose his way, and me and Jay talked about how money doesn't change you, but it makes you more of who you already are. And maybe some some of those blind spots that he didn't realize that he had. It was like, oh man, now he's wearing fancy suits now. Oh, he's got like Versace, or he's got like Gucci glassware and Gucci plates, Gucci china. And now like we talked about it, and I'm sure you're aware of that famous quote from welterweight boxing champion Marvelous Marvin Hagler, where he says it's hard to get up in 3 a.m. to do road work when you're sleeping on satin sheets. So I think just he lost that hunger, he lost that drive, but then he was also engaging in the fruits of his labor, and some say to the point where it was in excess, to put it lightly. And then he kept getting himself caught up in these things, not only the Nikita Hand thing, but also there was a woman who alleged that she was punched by him and was forced to jump off of a yacht to get away from him. There's also a man who got punched in the face at an Irish pub because he wouldn't drink proper 12.
Oh man.
And then the poor Miami Heat mascot getting two-pieced for real. And then so all these
the
things
bus with Khabib.
Yes, throwing the dolly, the infamous dolly incident, throwing that through the window of the bus that Khabib was on. So it's just all of these things I think had gotten into his head. And like you said, I think he's making all the excuses, but he's not holding himself accountable for these things. Even on the interviews when they're asking, do you have any regrets? And he's like, oh, I don't have any regrets. I think it just makes you stronger. And then when he was specifically asked about if he deserved, I think this was at the press conference, he was asked if he felt he earned this type of spotlight on the platform that he's on, following what happened with the case in 2024. And he continues to maintain his innocence, as the truth will come to life, and the liar is the most despicable of all sinners and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I just don't know what's going on with it. I hope he gets his act together now. Like, for right now, it's not even about him returning to the sport. For me, it's about him getting his life together. And his poor partner, Dee Devlin. Well, I shouldn't say poor, because I guess she wouldn't know. She's been with him through the thick and thin. She's been with him before he had anything, before he had, what they say, what's the thing? Before you have two dimes to scratch together or something like that. I think that's how the saying goes. Before he had two nickels to scratch together, I believe it's.
It's the exchange rate.
Yeah, but she was with them through everything, and she's had his children. She's the mother of his children. But I just feel as though he needs to focus now on getting himself together, and then now he's trying to take this platform. And we kind of talked about the connection. I love that Jay mentioned, oh, he's doing the Billy Strut. He's doing the Billy Strut, and we all know that Vince McMahon is famous for the $1 billion strut, and Vince McMahon tore both ACLs in both knees doing that. And then I was like, we can even further the connection beyond that. We know, did the Billy Strut reminiscent of Vince McMahon? He's also being like in cahoots with 45, 47. So it's like, what other than being white, what else do those brothers have in common? It's strange bedfellows, but it's just he needs to figure out what's important, what's important in his life right now, and it's got to go beyond fighting, because I just think even if you do go off and fight Jake Paul. What's going to happen after that? Like, that Mayweather fight alone should have gave you enough money to where you're set for life.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many people sue you, or regardless, like, you should be set for life, regardless of your lifestyle. Like, you should be set for life with that kind of money. But it'll be interesting to see how he comes back from this. I think the damage is done not only physically to him, but reputationally. And like you said, I think some people are always like, those habits die hard to kind of see somebody who was in the big time to continue to root for them and to see what happens with them next. Like, those habits die hard. I think there's always going to be somebody willing to pay to see Conor again, but I think is getting fewer and further in between. So we'll see what happens with that.
So maybe he should have called the whiskey improper number 12, because he just got a long list of improper achievements and accomplishments that we can accredit to this man, Ray Williams. But you know what? Speaking of improper, and this marks the second week in a row, Ray Williams, on the parlay. Actually, no, last week was Kings of Sport, this week's parlay, where we brought up video games, brother.
Yes.
Because there's a new video game out on the market right now, brought to you by the fine people at EA Sports, Electronic Arts Sports, called College Football 27. The latest in the revamped series of college football games, which first reappeared back on the scene in 25, Ray, with College Football 25, which was well received by the masses, followed up by College Football 26, which I enjoyed more than 25, but a lot of people still enjoyed 25 more than 26, but to each their own. But 27, Ray, was supposed to be the chosen one, the GOAT, the level up for EA Sports. And in a lot of ways, I've played the game, Ray. I've played it for about 2 days now, 2 or 3 days. And I would say, from just a gameplay standpoint, it probably is a bit of a step up from College Football 26. There's some things with the NIL that I kind of enjoy that they're trying to incorporate in the game now, where you actually you can't just bribe these kids with scholarships and using your recruiting points, Ray. You actually got to pay these brothers now.
Imagine that.
And it puts you in a position where you got to make choices, Ray. So for instance, right now I started 2 dynasties, just to kind of test out the game before I get into my real dynasty, which is going to be my Virginia Cavalier dynasty. So I've got a dynasty with UCF, the UCF Golden Knights, which is a really fun team if you want a challenge to kind of rebuild a team, because they've got a really good quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, that played at JMU last year. He starts as like a 85, 86 overall. They got some decent skill players. You got some good facilities, Ray, because these are all things you got to take into account this season. And then I've got another dynasty kind of going from the other side of the spectrum, where I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm not even a head coach, Ray Williams. I'm the offensive coordinator of the Texas Longhorns, dog. Big arching them boys, cuz. and so here's a quick pro tip to anybody that likes to run a dynasty. But you kind of want to start at your favorite school, be it a lower tier school, as the head coach. Don't do that. Start at a power school as a coordinator, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, because then you rack up all these coach experience points, and then you take them to your school. So what I plan to do with Texas, Ray, is I'm going to get all these points, because we win a national championship, Ray. I predict it. I'm speaking it into existence. Arch going to win the Heisman. We going to make it do what it do. And then I'm going to take all those coach points, and I'm going to go to somewhere like South Florida or Tulane or something like that, dog. And they're gonna be like, "Oh snap, coach, you great! You coming in here with a ring and everything." And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, pay them boys their money, because I got all these experience points now." But anyway, so the gameplay is pretty good, man. There's things again with the NIL that I'm kind of tweaking and tinkering around with, and it's funny because it's like if you offer a kid money, you set the floor for the kid. So if I offer this kid 150 NIL points, he gonna want at least that every year going forward, right? And at some point, it's like, damn, Bob, you ain't even really that good though. But then the thing is, like, I'd be like, you know what? I still like Bob, but I don't love Bob as a player. So how about instead of 150, I'll give you 100 points, Bob. And this man Bob was so insulted, Ray. He's like, I'll be playing elsewhere next year, coach. And I'm like, yeah, but you won't be playing in Texas. How about that? You ain't gonna win no chip, Bob. How about that? But anyway, that goes to show you, man, like the game is doing a good job of trying to keep up with modern college football, which is unlike any era of college football we've ever witnessed, Ray.
Right.
But the more things change, Ray Williams, the more they stay the same, brother, because EA Sports has never been able to beat the allegations of being a greedy corporation, particularly when it comes to microtransactions. And we've seen this in the Madden football games with the Ultimate Team. We've seen this even in the college game with like the college Ultimate Team that they've got. But for the most part, Ray, those are like opt-in kind of things where you're choosing to play Ultimate Team. You're choosing to enter this game mode, which you know is basically based off of microtransactions with the online play. So buyer beware. But this year, Ray, they done put the microtransactions in the offline game mode, brother. So like last year's game with your coach experience, how you build up your coach, you had three speeds. You could either gain it at fast speed, medium speed, or slow speed. And that would progress your coach over the seasons. This year, they started where you got to pay to unlock these levels, Ray Williams.
Yeah.
Offline mode, Dynasty, Road to Glory, things of that nature. You got to pay these microtransactions. And as you see by the headline, Ray, the players was not happy about this. Like the real players that played the video game, to the point where there's a lot of people that do these reviews and stuff. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. One of my favorites, though, was this dude named Bordeaux. I had never met this dude Bordeaux in my life, just some random, ordinary-looking dude. We might want to reach out, Ray, whenever we put you on game in the mix and see if we can talk to some people like Bordeaux or Kenny Baum or some of these, people that stream the games and stuff like that. But Bordeaux is somebody who every year I look to him for the college football review to see if it's worth actually buying or if it's just worth doing a free 10-hour trial and then waiting until it goes on sale. And so he had a lot of good things to say about the game. But then, you know it's bad when somebody that been out here on the grind, Ray, showing love to EA Sports, all of a sudden it's like, nah, man, this bullshit. They're like, what's going on, brother? And Bordeaux and a bunch of these other EA Sports streamers basically was like, yeah, this is not right. You know, they're making offline modes pay to play, Ray. And EA, in an uncharacteristic move, was like, hey, we heard you guys. We heard the concerns, and we've taken it under advisement. And hey, we've all made mistakes. Maybe we had a little too much proper number 12 last night, but we're going to remove this pay-to-play aspect, the microtransactions, in the next update of the game, Ray. And so it's good that EA reversed the course on this, but they shouldn't have ever been on that course in the first place. And so I enjoy the game. Like I said, Ray, I got 2 dynasties going right now with UCF and with Texas, and I'm enjoying the gameplay. I'm enjoying kind of trying to figure out the game. They got a little Heisman ceremony, which was cool, Ray. Like I simmed through a season with UCF, and Alonzo actually made it to the Heisman ceremony. He had a little suit on. I was like, go ahead, Alonzo. We did it, man. We made it out the mud, Alonzo. We made it out the mud, brother. but he lost to the Texas running back. So like, hey, at least we was mentioned in the category of the Heisman nominees. They switched up some things. Kirk Herbstreit, he out the game. I don't know what Kirk did. He might have did something. I don't know. But they brought Holly Rowe into the game. I'm like, okay, Holly Rowe, you in the game now, girl. But overall, I would say it's probably, I give it like a B, Ray. Maybe a B plus once they kind of work out some of the bugs. So like if you're interested in college football, it's worth getting. It always helps me remember some of these kids that are playing, Ray, because I ain't got the time to be all into college football like I used to be when I used to buy the Street and Smith magazine and know the rosters of all the top 25 teams. I ain't got the time for that no more, Ray. But did you know there's a player on Ohio State, a running back named, wait for it, Ray, Bo Jackson.
Oh.
It's a new Bo Jackson on these streets, Ray.
Really? Yeah, that is a high expectation to live up to.
And he's really good. Like, he's a high-rated player. But here's the crazy thing, Ray. So his nickname is Bo. That's not his real first name. His mama didn't name him Bo Jackson. Everybody call him Bo Jackson. His real first name is Lamar.
Oh,
so we got another Lamar Jackson out here, Ray.
He can't escape the high expectations.
Either way, whether it's Lamar or Bo, people are expecting good things from this brother. So look, like Bo Jackson, like he's been a good player to kind of play with on the game. Texas got a running back, Ray, who played at NC State last year, named Hollywood Smothers. I don't know why this brother's name is Hollywood, because he's from Boone, North Carolina, but he's Hollywood Smothers. But he is fast, and I'll be running the running back screen to death on these teams, yo. The screen and the option. I got Arch Manning out here running the option like it's the wishbone of the wing tee back in 1986, Ray. And Arch is like, this ain't what I do. I'm supposed to be throwing the ball. I'm trying to get this Heisman. I'm like, Arch, you play for me. If you don't like it, you can transfer with Bob. Hop in the portal, my boy. We're trying to win this championship. But no, there's a lot to like about the game, Ray. But, we talked about it last week on the Kings of Sport, man. Like, not only the console makers, the companies, but these developers like EA. Like, the greed is apparent. They saying the quiet parts out loud now. And so, like, yeah, I don't know how much of this story you saw over the past week or so, Ray. But what did you make of EA's initial decision to add these microtransactions, and then after the fan and player boycott, their decision to kind of reverse field?
Well, I have heard a bit about this. It's interesting that I never heard of this Bordeaux cat before either, and it's really interesting that, like, you could go through and then you see people on different social media platforms and be like, wait a minute, I'm just knowing you got 2 million followers, and I ain't never heard of you in my life.
And apparently, like, he stepped away from the game for like 3 years, and it like in terms of being a streamer, and then came back and like blew up. And so, like, shout out to Bordeaux. But like, yeah, like, this is the dude who I would say before 2024, he could have walked into my job and been like, hey, I'm Bordeaux, fix my car. And I'd be like, I don't even know who you are, my boy. But now, like I said, he's one of the first people I turn to when it comes to like college sports, or college football or Madden news, because he's always usually on point with it.
Right. Well, I got put on game about Bordeaux because there's this other YouTube personality that I watch named King Shrats, and he usually just does food reviews and stuff on his main channel, but then he also has a second channel where he talks about different topics, whether it be him as an actual, like, him being a former college football player himself, or whether it be talking about movies, or whether it be talking about different snacks outside of full meals and stuff. And he's also a gamer. So he came on one day and he was hot. He said he pulled up Bordeaux's initial video. He said he listened to 11 seconds and he was done. Because he was rightfully like you, just like these sliders were already in the game, and so now you're trying to take them away, and you're trying to make people pay for not something optional, not something that's cosmetic, but something that you need, like you said, in the single player game in order to make your coach a better coach or with better stats and stuff, or to make your created player better, or to make your dynasty better, things like that. And so
they trying to keep us down, Ray. They trying to keep me stuck at North Dakota State. I'm not gonna stay at North Dakota State my whole life, Ray. I'm better than North Dakota State. No offense to North Dakota State, but I'm better than being the head coach at North Dakota State, Ray. They need to let me be great, brother.
Tell you, know your role and shut your mouth. You're going to
North Dakota State Aggies. I don't even know if that's their mascot, but it should be
because
they Aggie.
We're gonna have them all up in our comments, like, how dare you disrespect
the proud green and gold of North Dakota State.
But yeah, and I was kind of thinking about it, and no judgment, brother Nate. I'm just putting these things out, just like John Anik did with the video. I'm just putting something out there with no commentary. I'm not swaying towards any way. I know, and I'll preface this by saying this. I know there's a lot of people who want to do good, and when they see these big time corporations link up with people or with entities that they know are doing wrong, like, they want to take a stand. But then they also, on the other end, make a concession to another corporation that might be doing things in the background, or that we know are doing things in the background, but are not as prevalent as the corporation that we're standing up against. For example, people are boycotting Target because of their switch of their stance on DEI, diversity and equity and inclusion, but yet they still buy stuff from Amazon. No judgment. I think it just shows, like, the wide grasp that all these corporations have in the world, is that we got to make concessions one way or the other. Now, I'll bring this to you, brother Nate. I know we talked about, you and I are both united in not watching any TKO products that are productions that are being held by Saudi Arabia, right? Brother Nate, I don't know if you're aware of this, brother, but do you happen to know who recently purchased EA, Electronic Arts, recently?
See, Ray, you thought you was gonna get me. You thought you much like EA Sports, you thought you was gonna keep me stuck down here at North Dakota State, Ray. But now, brother, that's why I'm an elite head coach with the recruiter trait. Because I know what you was gonna say, Ray. Yes, because I saw the news about Saudi Arabia purchasing EA Sports, but I also know, Ray. Yes, but I also know, Ray, that doesn't go into effect for 2 more years, Ray Williams.
Oh, okay.
Yes, 2 more years to buy college football and Madden before I quit EA Sports forever, Ray.
Gotcha. Oh, see, here I go, knowing you ain't in the playbook. See, look at you, brother Nate.
And that's why you gotta hire me, UVA. We can win the ACC this year. Don't just judge me based on North Dakota State. I'm doing the best I can with these 1-star players. How did they even get here?
Well, somebody that we know is a 5-star player through and through is just
my running back is at a 50 speed, Ray. How my running back have 50 speed? It don't make no sense. Receivers can't catch.
He better be trucking people if he ain't fast.
My center is faster than my running back. It don't make no sense, Ray. They're tired of North Dakota State.
Your center, he took off. He got a 10-yard start with the block, and your running back still at the line of scrimmage.
We the laughing stock of the Mountain West Conference, Ray. Don't make no sense.
Don't make no sense.
Trying to get us out the mud.
One person around here at Nefarious Media Network, who's our 5-star player, our 5-star recruit, has just joined us, brother Nate. I know.
Uh-oh.
I'll leave the introductions up to you, my brother.
You know, speaking of elite schools, you know, unlike North Dakota State University, Ray Williams, this man is an accomplished professor. You know, maybe he can help tutor some of my wayward kids on the North Dakota State program so we can all stay eligible for the Mountain West Conference Championship game. But y'all give it up for a brother that we know and love. I'm sure he's got some things to talk about this week. Let's bring him out here to the stage, Ray Williams. The good professor, Chris from LA, aka Professor Chris Ely. Can we rock? What's up, Doc?
Man, chilling, just keeping up, writing about all the real deaths in politics, the real deaths that haven't been reported yet, just that kind of stuff, you know.
So yeah, we definitely go get into that, Chris. So I'm glad you're able to join us today. But before we switch gears to talk about some of that stuff, I don't know how much of the conversation you caught from me and Ray about what EA Sports is doing with the microtransactions and how they switched course after the fan backlash. And then last week, Ray and I talked about how a lot of these corporations are getting rid of physical media. So you've got to buy the digital versions of these games and they're $80 a piece for games, when back in the day, Chris, when we would buy video games at most, like for an A title game, like for a Grand Theft Auto or something, you might drop $50, but most games was like $30-$40 maybe. And so what's your take on this?
I remember in the 90s, like for a little while, like the Sega Genesis games were cheaper, and then if you bought it on Super Nintendo, for some reason they were just way more expensive. And a lot of times those Super Nintendo versions were either the same as this Genesis versions or not even better, you know. Like I remember specifically, sorry for the tangent, but I remember specifically for WrestleMania, the arcade game. On Super Nintendo, it was missing 2 players. But then when you bought it from the store, it was like $79. And the Genesis version had all of the players. And it was like $50 or something. But, yeah. So, but anyway, I think it's like all this stuff is like just crazy, and it's a capitalistic society. And everyone, I tried to buy my nephews some video games last Christmas for their what's the newest one, the
PS5.
The PS5. And like the cartridges weren't even, you couldn't even buy cartridges for them, man. Like I bought like Spider-Man for them, and I bought one of the, what was the other one, like Mortal Kombat, some other shit. And it wasn't even like it didn't work. It was like you needed to get digital versions, because I don't know what the PS5 does. I don't have a PS5 anymore, or I don't think I ever had the PS5, and everyone's switching to digital. And that's why I always get into arguments with people when they say, like, tell me bullshit like Chris Brown is the best-selling artist, a better-selling artist than Usher. Well, when Usher was selling albums, you had to go to the fucking Best Buy or Warehouse or Sam Goody's or whatever and physically buy a CD or a tape. Now it's just streaming, you know? So how are you going to say, I mean, anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a thing that annoys me, man, because it's like you back in the day, you had to go buy the stuff from the store.
Yes.
But anyway, so the Saudi Arabia thing, so what exactly is going on? That was the last thing you were talking about, right?
So the Saudi Arabia, purchased EA Sports, Electronic Arts.
Right.
And so Ray was trying to trick me up, saying, you being a hypocrite, brother, because you don't watch the WWE Saudi shows, but you playing these Saudi video games. And I had to educate Ray, Chris, that this deal, even though the purchase has been made, the actual transition of power doesn't take place for another 2 years, Ray.
Hey, it was no judge like John Anik. It was no judge. I was putting it out with no commentary. That's what I'm saying. I was just putting it out there, and I was going to let you elaborate. That's all.
Mhm.
But it is going to be crazy, Chris. Like whenever like the transition does happen, I want to say it's supposed to be like 2028 when the transition happens for real. Like, are they going to put propaganda in the games? Like, because you'd figure you spend all this money on the damn game. Like instead of booting up the game, it's like EA Sports. It's in the game. You're going to hear EA Sports. Like, not that ain't a catchy opening, Ray Williams. I can't even front. That'd be a catchy ass opening. It's like, oh, this about to be the best or worst experience of my life. But like, I wonder if they're actually going to have propaganda in, particularly like the soccer games. Like, I'm not so worried about the American sports game, but with something like soccer, which is so international, are they going to use the video game as a soft launch for some of their propaganda?
They might, because I mean, FIFA is already like one of the most corrupt sports organizations out there. Yeah. Probably the most corrupt sports organization. And I'm saying this knowing that a thing called UFC exists, you know? Like FIFA's just been involved in like so many like bullshit things. Like even they gave Trump a pretend award early, like was the FIFA Peace Prize or whatever. Trump keeps getting these awards where he's gonna get the award, and after that, no one else is getting the award.
Right.
Like these awards are meaningless, you know.
It'd be like if Arch Manning didn't get the Heisman this year, and they was like, "Well, you know what, Arch, we give you the snazziest quarterback. You the first recipient of the snazziest quarterback award." And then he just nobody else get it after Arch because it's an award that doesn't matter.
Right? Yeah, because the award itself, the physical trinket, the trophy, all that's a prop. That is a toy. The award is the accomplishment, that the real thing. Like someone could rob LeBron James tomorrow night and steal all his shit and steal all of his title rings and stuff. LeBron is still going to be a 4-time NBA world champion, you know? Like that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he has the fucking trophy attached to it or not, or the prop attached to it.
Reggie Bush, they didn't even get that brother they took his Heisman Award away, but he was still a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, it's like where that's why I don't like even when like once somebody gets an award, I'm always of the thing like, why are we because and then some stuff comes out about it, and like we should take him out of the Hall of Fame. I mean, you already
OJ,
you already put the guy in there, you know, like he accomplished the stuff, or she accomplished the stuff. Like I remember they're talking about taking Sonny out of the Hall of Fame. I was like, why, man? I mean, she did her wrestling stuff. I mean, shoot, you know, celebrate the other non-wrestling crap she did. But yeah, man, like I mean, the world is just a crazy place right now, you know.
Well, let me chime in real quick, Brother Chris, because you did mention corruption and you did mention FIFA and 45-47. We didn't get a chance to talk about this in relations to the World Cup, but when the U.S. was still in the tournament with the round of 32, I think one of their forwards, Folarin Balogun, he scored a goal in that game in the round of 32, but then he was given a red card, which means they pretty much eject you from the game. So then we hear later on there's rumblings, Trump called the commissioner of FIFA, and now they're going to overturn the red card. And now Balogun.
Don't you got more important to worry about, my boy?
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Like this.
And that what I was going to say real quick, true to the form of whenever Trump gets involved in any sport, the related team ends up losing, and the U.S. lost to Denmark Norway 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, like the guy is bad luck, man.
Yeah.
He's bad chi is the problem. It's like, he brings bad energy to everywhere he goes. You know, the Knicks lost the one game he attended. James Dolan should be ashamed of himself for that. You know. And FIFA, like, yeah, it's just more of an example of their corruption, you know.
Yes.
Like what's the title mean if you're doing that kind of stuff? Good and bad calls happen in sports all the time. The point, and that's why I'm not one of those people that blame the refs for games and all this other stuff, or if it was a last minute call. Because there's stuff that you could have did before that that led you to that loss, you know.
Right.
It just is what it is. Yeah, man, it's just corruption up and down. As far as the Saudi Arabians go, I really don't know what to tell people about that anymore, you know. Because it's like, if it's, I mean, these are, it's WWE. Yeah, WWE is not going to be a moral beacon. They're not going to be a company that does, you know, right by anybody. You know, they're out for their bottom line. They're out for their TV deals and their money and all that stuff. So if you're going to get into business with Saudi Arabia, the best thing I could tell you to do is just something positive with the money that you get from it, you know. Not just like collect the money and act like you're not accountable to anything. Like what was his name? Was it Mustafa Ali or something?
Mustafa, yeah.
Like went there, did his job, and then used the money to do good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of how you got to operate around these things. Because I've gotten corrupt money before. I've gotten money that I knew was corrupt, you know. But at the same time,
Chris was the first recipient of the FIFA Peace Award.
At the same time,
he don't even like soccer.
Right, yeah. But at the same time, you know, I needed the money, you know. Like I've gotten scholarships from, like, you know, janky pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. I was in no position to be turning down money, especially in the 2010s. The very beginning of the 2010s, I was flat broke, you know. Going through my master's degree program, and I don't know anybody's financial situation or what they're doing. I don't judge people for, the only time I judge these people is when they try to like I hate it when Aries Spears like went to Saudi Arabia, got the money, and then I guess what's the guy's name? Mark Maron and I think it was David Cross. They criticized them for doing it, and then his response was like, "Well, America's had slavery for 500 years." We're like, dude, shut the fuck up, man! Like,
don't do that.
Why do you have to? That is like such a off comparison, because you were comparing like something that happened a long time ago to something contemporary. And also, like, if you need the money, just say I needed the money, man.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna judge that.
It's been a long time since Mad TV, my boy.
Right, yeah, Mad TV, what, The Pest,
damn.
Stuff like that.
John Leguizamo's The Pest.
Right, yeah, he hasn't done anything in a minute. So I mean, like, that is it's just be real about the money that you are collecting. That's all I'm saying. Be real about it, and, you know, try to do something positive. Like, I mean, like, even with Dave Chappelle, because when Dave Chappelle tried to use a pseudo excuse, but when he did an NPR interview where he talked about that, and the way he described it in that interview, it made a lot more sense. Because he did do good stuff with the money he got from doing, like, he started a studio an NPR studio in his town of Ohio, wherever he lives at in Ohio. He started a studio there and stuff like that, an NPR studio, public radio, because they were trying to, cancel public radio and stuff like that. And money is just a tool. It's a means to an end. It's how we get things done.
Right.
There's no such thing as clean money, I don't even know if there's really a such thing as dirty money. I think there's dirty ways people get a hold of money.
Right.
But money is just there for you to satisfy whatever needs satisfying in your life. And when I say satisfy, I just mean like improve conditions, buy food for your kids, your wife, yourself, room, shelter, all that stuff. That's what money is there for.
The Nefarious Media Patreon, patreon.com. Nefarious Media.
Yeah.
$3 gets you in the door.
Yeah, and the way this country runs is off of capitalism,
Yep.
And capitalism, and like even with capitalism, I say capitalism is, for me, I don't love capitalism. I also don't hate it. I just see capitalism as a system we have to live in, and we have to learn how to navigate through it and use capitalism in a way that's ethical. Because there was this one brother, I respect the brother, but he just wrote this book on how much he loved capitalism, and that was a little weird to me too. It's just like, why do you love this shit?
I just love it. I can't get enough.
Right? Yeah.
Capitalism.
Good old capitalism.
It's just like, just
old Scrooge McDuck looking.
Right? Yeah. Just navigate through it and use
Mr.
it for what you
Krabs.
need to use it for. Like
I'm a number one dime. Well, go ahead, Ray.
Well, I was gonna say real quick, brother Chris. I'm totally with you. Like, I think, like, you can't judge people if you got to put food on the table, you got to support your family, things like that. What I kind of push back on is when people, if they take a stand on one hand, but then on the other hand,
exactly,
they come back on. For example, you were talking about some of those comedians. Bill Burr was one of those comedians who went over to Saudi Arabia, yet he was pushing back on his podcast against corruption and against a fascist regime. But then you go over to this to this dictator who's known for murdering people if they're not in line or just for simply reporting things. So I think those are the people I push it back again.
I think it's just a matter of being real about the money you're collecting. To me, it's just that simple. It's like, I said that, but
these Celtics season tickets ain't gonna pay for themselves, dog.
Exactly. It's like I need these Celtics season tickets ain't gonna pay for themselves. My black wife that I sometimes complain about, she needs some stuff, it is what it is, man. It's like, I think people would accept this kind of thing, and when I say accept it, I mean they would just come to grips with it a little bit more if people were just like, this is why. Like with CM Punk, he talked all that shit in AEW about dirty Saudi money and all this other stuff, and then you come back to WWE and now you're collecting it. People are right to call you a hypocrite for that. That is a bed that you made for yourself. None of the other wrestlers did that crap. You're the only one that did, and now you're reaping the money for it. And I don't even care that you're doing it, really. But I'm not gonna ever say you're not a hypocrite. I'm never gonna say that, because you are. It's just that simple. You went back on something that you stood steadfast about, and you did it for money. Like, why couldn't you just say to Triple H and Nick Khan and those guys, like, look, I'll be back in this company, but I'm not taking that money. Probably because you wouldn't be in the position you are in right now if you did that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Yep. Real quick though, because I think we can kind of dovetail these two topics into each other, Chris, because you talk about corruption, you talk about, capitalism, Ray's favorite subject. Good old Ray loves him some good old capitalism. Old red hat Ray. But we also kind of need to talk about leadership, and this is where a story comes into play, Chris, because some people would say that this past weekend the Republican Party lost a leader.
Mhm.
Other people would say, Chris, that there was no leadership, there was no courage, there was no backbone, there was nothing admirable about what this man brought to the table, who was no longer with us. And of course, we speaking about South Carolina's favorite son, ? Lindsey Graham. He gone, Chris. We've heard some flowery tributes. We've seen some people express sarcastic tributes. We've seen people outright laugh at this man not being here no more, Chris. But as somebody who's been in these political streets for a little minute, what do you have to say about the departed Senator Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, man, I feel a way about this, and on several fronts. And I've met Lindsey Graham a few different times at a few different functions and all that. So, he was somebody that was around. I knew him before his Red Hat rebranding in 2016. I felt a little bad only because, and this is probably the part where, maybe my soul is damned to hell, but I've made thousands of dollars on Substack roasting that fool. It's like every other week, he would just do or say something stupid or corrupt. And they were like the easiest articles to write. And people like when you roast corrupt people like that. So every time that happened, it was like cha-ching.
Pleasure doing business with you, Senator.
Right, yeah. And now I don't have that anymore, and I'm gonna really miss that, man.
The golden goose is gone, brother.
Right, yeah. Him and Marco Rubio have gotten it the most. Just Google Christopher Ely, spell my name correctly, and Lindsey Graham. There'll be about 7 or 8 articles off of that. And I swear I've made at least $10,000 roasting this idiot. But anyway, yeah, like someone at Lincoln Square, I'm gonna forget who they are.
Chris is like, well, time to get into the Nancy Mace business, I guess, fellas.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've roasted her too. So. But yeah, but it's like somebody at Lincoln Square wrote a article. It was called "The Obituary of Lindsey Graham That Could Have Been." And yeah, he was a guy. I'm not one of those people that like have revisionist history of Lindsey Graham or John McCain or anything like that. I never liked John McCain's politics. I never liked Lindsey Graham's politics. The one thing I'll say about John McCain is I think he was an honest broker. I don't think he was corrupt. I think the stuff that he fought in, he believed. I did not like the stuff they were doing in Arizona in the 90s with the Martin Luther King Day stuff. It's like,
right,
it's a fucking day off, It's like, why are you fighting against this? But
how racist do you have to be? Like, no, right. I'm gonna go to work today in spite of this so-called king.
Yeah. So I didn't like that kind of stuff. But I thought, and Lindsey Graham early on, like before 2016, he did, or before 2018, really, he did stand up to his party, But I think what happened with him is when John McCain died, he needed like a father figure, maybe a sugar daddy figure. I don't know. But he needed that kind of guidance to steer him through the political world, you know.
You say he one of them friends that like if everybody get into a fight, he got to wait till somebody else on the squad throw the first punch, then he could join in?
Yeah, probably. You know, because I think the thing with MAGA world is so easy to do and understand. The article that I'm going to publish when we get off of here is on Michael Cohen. And Michael Cohen has cozied back up to Donald Trump. And with the funny thing about Michael Cohen is he did that Mea Culpa podcast, and he did the podcast with Midas Touch and Ben Meiselas and those boys. And he pretty much revealed for the last like 5-6 years, he's been revealing every single Trump secret, all the flattery tricks you could do with Donald Trump and all that. And he used those flattery tricks to get back into the orbit of Donald Trump. And the reason why he did that, in my opinion, I can't say this for sure, so journalistic integrity's got to qualify this, but he's probably in those Epstein files, and he probably needs a pardon, and he probably has to get Trump to do it. So I think with Lindsey Graham, he needed political relevance.
Yeah.
You know, political relevance was his life's blood. And signing on to MAGA was a lot easier than being against MAGA, cozying up to him, because he turned into a real political actor. It was like real pathetic.
Yes,
the kind of sycophant he turned into.
All of them, dog. Like we just talked about Nancy Mace. I remember watching MSNBC or CNN one night, Chris. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, and she was like, matter of fact, it was after January 6th.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is the most reprehensible thing, and the president should be ashamed of himself. And then cut to 5 years later, Chris, and she out here looking in the ladies' bathroom trying to see if there's some transgender people, because that's all she got to talk about now. You talk about somebody like Mitch McConnell, who done rolled over so Trump could rub his belly. Marco Rubio, this man that called you Lil Marco, dog, for the last 7 years, and you done took this from this man. Like all of these politicians that could have, like they could have jumped them, Chris, politically speaking. Like if they all came together, it was like, hey, dog, this our Thanos right here, big orange, ugly ass Thanos. And if we come together, like conservative Avengers assemble, and like Jeb Bush holding up the shield, Chris, they could have jumped that man and beat him down. But instead, all of them just rolled over and like, no, you right, sir. You got the juice now, cuz.
Right, yeah. Like, and Nancy Mace reminds me of one of those debutantes I went to high school with, like just kind of vapid and plain and using kind of her looks to get forward in the world and fake Christian and goes to youth group every Wednesday night, but every Friday night she's dancing on tables and shit. That's what Nancy Mace reminds me of.
Up there next to Lauren Boebert, like, what you doing here, Lo? I didn't know you was here tonight.
Yeah, because the high school I went to in Knoxville, Tennessee, you see her type all over the place, and it's just Republicans don't have any morals, they don't have any principles. They just
and the ones that don't last, because I think it may have been last week, Ray, when you and I were talking about it was, matter of fact, we were celebrating America's birthday, Ray. And I was telling Ray about Adam Kinzinger, Chris, who was somebody that, like, even though I disagree with a lot of his political views in terms of policy, like he actually had some substance, and he had to get gone because he wasn't going to win re-election because the Republican Party has shifted so vastly over the last 5 years that he was not a sustainable candidate.
Right. Yeah, I could. And I think he moved to Arizona or something like that for that reason. So he'll probably try to like run as like a moderate Democrat out there sometime. Yeah, he had to plant his flag somewhere else for that reason. the thing is that the Republican Party is a cult. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to when you are in a cult, you have to agree with the leader on everything the leader says. There's no room for any kind of deviation and all that. If you want to have a good standing in the cult, you have to kiss the cult leader's ass. It's just like being like a prodigal son or just like a regular everyday evangelical Christian, because no matter what sins you do as a religious person, a Christian person, you always have the church to fall back on. You know, they will always accept you back. A cult kind of operates to that on a umph degree, right? Because you are welcome back into MAGA world, but you got to kiss Trump's ass to get back there, you know? And then Trump will do all the rebranding with you and stuff like what Michael Cohen, you know, just, you know, kiss his ass. Lindsey Graham, you said all this stuff about him. You called him the race baiting, xenophobic kook. You called him
no lies detected. No lies detected.
Yeah. Everything he said was true, but it's like when it came down to the come down, and it was like, okay, I can stand up to this guy, risk losing my job. Maybe I can become a MSNBC or CNN commentator, or I can it'll just be much easier for me to kiss this guy's ass, be welcomed in South Carolina. Because the thing with Lindsey Graham too, and this is why I'm starting to, my agnosticism like might kind of start like maybe God is, you know, doing some stuff, because he dies, that automatically means that South Carolina's Senate seat is gettable, because his incumbency was very important. He was never popular in South Carolina,
right,
but he was like a knee-jerk person. Like people reflexively voted for him because he was a Trump supporter, and Trump told him to vote for him, and he had some name recognition. And we joke about him, but he actually did have very real power in the Senate. And that is something that the Republicans are not going to get back easily. You know, Lindsey Graham spent years, decades cultivating that, you know, kind of favor. And now that he's died, and Mitch McConnell, that motherfucker's dead too. I mean,
jeez, damn! Breaking news!
He's dead enough. Let's say that. So for legal purposes, let's say he's dead enough. Not dead, but dead enough.
It's only a 2 count, Chris. They ain't counted the 3 yet, dog. He still can kick out.
Yeah, you lose. You lose, and I got a story about Mitch McConnell too. But you lose those 2 senators, the puppet masters in that party, the guys that were able to get strings pulled and, you know, levers moved for Donald Trump. It's gonna be tough for Republicans going into 2026. Mitch McConnell, the place that he's a senator of is Kentucky,
right?
I'll let you all, you know, determine if it's the great state of Kentucky or not. I've been there a couple times. It's okay. You know, I like it.
Wildcats got a decent football program. They just need a good head coach, Ray Williams.
Right. Yeah. And I was treated okay when I went to Lexington. So
it's a better landing spot than North Dakota State, huh?
You know, much better. You know, no disrespect to North Dakota State, man, but go UK all the way.
Yeah, but so it's one of those. But there's a Democrat governor in Kentucky, Andy Beshear.
Yeah.
If Mitch McConnell, speaking like he's still alive, because from the news reports we've gotten, he's probably alive. But speaking like him, if Mitch McConnell dies, they changed the law to where there has to be a special election to elect the governor there. But there's been a loophole there, and actually a lot of legal experts said that's not the case. Like the way that Kentucky pulled that, because they did it because of Andy Bashir becoming the governor, and they said they used a lot of illegal legal loopholes to kind of get that through. And if Mitch McConnell is dead, the Democratic governor gets to pick the senator out there. So that is an incentive why you don't reveal that the guy is dead. Now, if he is alive, then it's just weird stuff, because even the statement that I was watching Al Sharpton yesterday on MSNBC, and he was saying that we received message that Mitch McConnell is alive, and he's just released this. He's resting at home, and it was a picture of him next to his wife, Elaine Chao, and it's like, dude, you look at the picture, and it's like, come on, man.
Hold on, Chris, though. To be fair, Ray Williams, what color shirt is Mitch McConnell wearing in that picture?
It's about a pink checkered shirt. Yes.
Some would say pink, some would say chartreuse, some would say salmon, Chris. Mitch got a lot left in the tank, brother.
Yeah. This dude is. Yeah. So if he was up and about it, then he needs to release a video.
Yeah.
Even if he can't talk, just release a video waving at people or something.
Right.
That picture ain't gonna cut it, man. It's
when was this picture taken?
Yeah, people are already like speculating that it's either an old picture or sophisticated AI or something like that. Release the goddamn video, and just, if you're alive, let us know that you're alive.
Release the McConnell cut.
Right. Because August 3rd is when they'll have to it'll force a special election. They have a better chance, and if they force a special election, it's Kentucky, so the chances of a Democrat governor winning are going to be a lot less. It'll be like, I think it's like 90% that the Republican would win. So that's the reason why that hasn't been released fully to the public, I think. And if it is the truth, it'll just show you how deep the levels of corruption in Kentucky run. Like if you've got a hospital like saying that this guy is dead, or this guy is alive and he's not alive, and you got like his wife flying to China the day before or right after, and you got hospital at his house. They got a morgue cover. I'm sorry, this is funny. They got a morgue blanket over this fool. Whoever
he was just a little chilly, Chris. He got to warm up, dog.
Over his head, so his head and nose were chilly too.
You lose a lot of heat from your head, Chris. Right, it's a fact.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen that movie, Nate? You haven't probably seen it, Ray, or maybe you have, but it's Loaded Weapon with Emilio Estevez.
I thought you were gonna go Weekend at Bernie's.
Well, that too, but Loaded Weapon.
Yeah,
there's a scene. It's a parody of Lethal Weapon and all those like buddy cop movies. There's a scene in there where John Lovitz is playing this character, and he gets gunned down by these people, and he's on this hospital gurney, and he asks Sam Jackson's character, Is everything going to be all right? And then Sam Jackson says, don't worry, everything's going to be just fine. And then he smiles and gives him the thumbs up. And then he puts a morgue blanket over his head and puts him in the hospital ambulance thing. You know, it's just so weird, man. This is just the most weird time for politics I've probably ever lived through. And I lived through all of the stuff that went on in DC with the crack and you know, that, and he was actually a good politician too, but you know,
with Marion Barry.
Yeah, Marion Barry, yes. I didn't want to
set me up.
Yeah, I didn't want to name his name because you know, he's so much, because he was a good.
He was more than the crack.
Yeah, he was really good at his job. I just
we knew exactly where you're going when you said crack. Yeah. He was more than crack.
Yeah, I was hoping
for our younger listeners.
I was hoping the audience would fill in the context clues themselves.
But it's interesting, Chris, because you know, going back to the college football analogy, your team is only as good as the next recruit.
Right.
So like even though I'm the offensive coordinator playing with Texas right now, I got Arch Manning and Hollywood Smothers as my running back and these 5-star wide receivers. If I'm not recruiting good players to come in and learn under them and then replace them eventually, it doesn't matter what my budget is, doesn't matter what the name on the school says, the prestige, all that, Chris. We're not going to be a good team very long if I'm not continuing to recruit good players. And it seems like, you know, we see it on both sides of the aisle, but at least with the Democrats, you have the sense that, oh, yeah, there's some good up-and-coming candidates that could run for these seats and fill these seats, hopefully. But then with the Republicans, it's like, yeah, you got the names like Mitch McConnell. Yeah, you got the names like Lindsey Graham and some of these other Republicans that have been in the game for a minute, but who's coming off the bench? And it's like all of these new Republicans, they're Trump Republicans, they're MAGA Republicans. And it's like there's a shelf life to the MAGA thing, Chris. So, yeah, they might have won elections in the short term, but 4 years from now, 6 years from now, 8 years from now, is that going to be sustainable with these new Republican recruits?
Right, yeah. A lot of political scientists right now, and I'm not saying this myself, but a lot of them are saying that the Republicans have kind of messed themselves up for decades with Trump and MAGA stuff. They said the like 2024 was short-term wins, and I've heard people that, like, I still say Republicans are favored to hold the Senate, but a lot more political analysts that know more than I do are starting to say Democrats are going to get the Senate back, and they're going to get Congress definitely. And it's going to be a while before Republicans get any of those seats back because of Trump, because they're going to have a party rebranding. I study political psychology. That's my field. And what I know about cults is this: when the cult leader dies out, you don't replace the leader, you know.
Right.
It leaves the cult directionless, and like there will be other people auditioning for the job of cult leader, but it's all gonna kind of like fail.
So nobody came to see you, JD Vance.
Yeah. So what they would really need from Trump, one is they would need him to be alive, you know, because I'm not even sure he's staying alive through the year, you know.
Breaking news.
Right, yeah. But they need him to stay alive, and if he does stay alive, they would need to do some kind of constitutional trick to get him to run for a third term and win the third term. Which is looking less and less likely because, you know, Trump can't help himself but be Trump. Because
he would have to name a successor and try to pass the torch, but I don't think that would work, Chris.
And he can't name a successor either because he thinks he's the cult leader thinks they are the ultimate, you know. They don't think there's no one underneath them, you know. It's like I'm the cult leader, and what I say goes, and all that stuff. So I don't really know how that dynamic would work if he ends up.
Like, when the last time you seen Trump and JD just hanging out?
They don't. Well, they're not supposed to be hanging out because the vice president need to be separate.
Yeah, but at least we saw Obama and Joe chill from time to time. At least we saw like Clinton and Gore chill from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, JD Vance is the same kind of sycophant that Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
they started off saying real stuff.
Never
about
Trumper.
And then when they saw it wasn't politically advantageous for them to do that, they switched sides, you know. And JD Vance is such a moron because he didn't even beat his opponent in the Senate by that much. He beat him by a very little bit. And he probably would have, I don't know if the Trump endorsement put him over the top or not. But yeah, the cult leader is not easily replaceable. So when Trump goes away, they are not gonna like it. Like, I'm hearing names like Tucker Carlson, which sounds that sounds more realistic to me than JD Vance or Marco Rubio, though. Tucker Carlson's he's kind of got the Trump formula. He's been building. Yeah, and he's been building a television audience for like the last.
He's still rocking the bow tie.
Nah, he's rocking a regular.
Okay, I was gonna say you can't be a president with a bow tie
now. He got the button down now.
Yeah.
But you might be right though, Chris. Like the Trump successor may not be in the GOP as one would probably be led to believe. It may be somebody like a Tucker Carlson, somebody like a Will Cain. If they want to switch up the flow, somebody like a Stephen A. Smith.
Well, it is never going to be Stephen A. Smith. He can eliminate that fantasy out of his mind.
I think beat Obama in a debate, Chris. I said it.
I actually think that Trump lost the state of Florida for them by endorsing Byron Donalds, because they're not. Byron Donalds is Republicans. If you go by the pattern with these people, they do not win they do not win statewide elections. You know, they just don't. They make it through primaries. Trump will endorse them, and then when they run in the general elections, the white Democrat always ends up fucking beating them. The only exceptions to that rule is, what's his name, Scott in South Carolina. But there's a caveat with him, because when the person that something happened to the person that he replaced, Nikki Haley put him in that seat, and then he won the election.
Oh, Nimrata.
So Miss Nimrata. So that's
a dope name. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't like Nikki Haley, but Nimrata's a dope name.
I like it better than Nikki, you know.
Exactly.
Sounds like she's from the future.
Right.
And it's funny too, and that brings me to when we're talking about sycophants, and it brings me back to that clip. I think it was of Trump. He's campaigning for 2024. And I think he's in South Carolina, and he mentions, like, you got appointed by her, and then you're endorsing me. You must really hate her. And then Tim Scott comes up to the microphone.
I just love you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Joe nose out his
right. Yeah. But that's how he got. And then
we's all we got, boss.
Yeah, and then there's the mayor of Dallas, who started off as a Democrat and then lost his mind in 2024 and switched to Republican. Everybody in Dallas hates that guy. I forget the name of the mayor, but everyone in Dallas hates him. Like, nobody there says anything nice about Dallas. Is a liberal city in a conservative state. So he's not even going to run again. And then Robinson in North Carolina, Republicans voted for the Democrat. I'm not Republicans. Well, some Republicans probably voted for the Democrat also, but like these people don't win national elections. I don't think Byron Donalds is ever gonna be any different from any of these people, you know. But it's gonna be him, and I think David Jolly is gonna get the nomination for the Democrats. Okay. David Jolly is a popular MSNBC commentator and stuff. And I think David Jolly is going to beat his ass in that election. I don't think Byron Donalds is winning. I just don't think. I think Republicans say a bunch of like stuff to sound nice, but when it comes down to the come down, the racism is not going to let them elect Vivek Ramaswamy or Mark Robinson or Byron Donalds and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. And Byron Donalds already has some bullshit starting to come out about him. So, I think it's just done for those fools.
Now, let me bring a name that you didn't mention and someone who was a lightning rod at times, but now he's kind of toned down the rhetoric a little bit, but people can still probably see in between the lines with this brother. What about what's your guy name with the Groypers?
Nick Fuentes. What would he run for?
Well, I'm saying if it be like state office or like, because I know he's still relatively young. I think he's still in like his late 20s, but do you see like his popularity kind of gaining? No. Because he has been gaining popularity. So this is the thing that the mistake people make with politics all the time. Politics is an old people game. It's not a young people game. It's the even in the elections that happened in New York with all those progressive that Mondami got elected. Mondami had a lot of old people vote for him. Right. And those progressives had a lot of old people vote for them also. The only difference is young people made up the difference. They put them over the top, you know. So when people talk about the young people vote, they're not talking about a majority of young people coming out to vote. Old people are never ever gonna outnumber young people, young people are never gonna outnumber old people. That's just not how politics works. What they do is they make the difference. Like with Obama, they make the difference for Obama. With Hillary Clinton, had Hillary Clinton won, they would have made the difference for her. That's how that works. Nick Fuentes, I don't see anybody over the age of like 45 voting for that fool, or over the age of 30 voting for that fool. He reminds me of, what's that motherfucker's name that told that lie? This dude got into a drunk driving accident. He got into a wheelchair from an accident that he caused and made it sound like made himself like was it Madison? What's his name? Cawthorn,
yeah.
Made himself like a thing, and then I think he got one election with that, but then once all the bullshit about him started coming out, he got destroyed in the next election. Nick Fuentes,
there's some random ass Republican candidates over the years. Like, what was it? Was it Christine O'Donnell, like the lady in Pennsylvania that was like a witch?
Yeah. There's all kinds of weirdos.
Like this why we need to get Chris's political podcast popping, folks. Y'all ain't ready for it.
No, it's just I just like Nick Fuentes is because he does have a lot of young people on lock.
But they don't vote.
But yeah, too many like power organizations in the Republican Party don't like that cat. Like all the Zionist Jewish people in the Republican Party don't like Nick Fuentes, and you need that vote. if you're going to run as a Republican.
But the thing is, Tucker Carlson, while he's not as extreme as Nick Fuentes, he's on the thing where he's kind of going against Israel. So is he going to be? I know he is older and he is a bit more popular.
Okay, so this is Tucker Carlson is going against Israel. All that anti-war posturing he's doing is for racist reasons. He's not doing it for because he necessarily cares about the brown people in Palestine. He's doing it for political expedience. He's like, what hurt Bush with Republicans in his second term is the war. That war, because the war was based off of lies, and those lies got found out because originally you had Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, all these Rumsfeld, all these Republican operatives saying, repeating the lie that there was a mushroom cloud and explosions and all this other stuff, and we need to go to war with these people. So they got us into that war off of false pretense. So that's what that was. What Tucker Carlson is relying on, his calculus is that I can be Donald Trump and just be anti-war. I don't have that war that Trump started with Iran was a war of necessity because he needed something to take away from those Epstein files.
Right.
What's the easiest way to get people distracted from the Epstein files? You start a war. So that war started as a result of that, and Tucker Carlson can just come in and say, hey, I hate all the people that you hate. I believe in a secure southern border, and I believe in keeping America, and all the racist shit you believe in. I just won't start a war. So that's what he's saying. What the problem with Nick Fuentes in that regard is Nick Fuentes is popular with groypers. Right. And like, what does that mean at the end of the day? It means fucking nothing, man. It just means Tucker Carlson is popular with the demographic he's supposed to be popular with. Nick Fuentes is popular with, dorks that are, probably, living, eating pizza rolls in their mom's basement, like he is. These virgin dudes that are like saying that, oh, I'm a virgin by choice, when in actuality, nobody's sleeping with you. Like Nick Fuentes, I think might be gay. I don't think he could even get guys to sleep with him. He's just that big of a loser. And there's no charisma about Fuentes that's going to get him elected to an office. Is the long answer to that question. Gotcha. I've seen. Let me put a caveat on this. I've seen weird things happen in politics. Just not that. Nick Fuentes has nothing going. Like, if Nick Fuentes looked like Brad Pitt or Matt Damon or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, this guy, we better watch out for him. He doesn't have either of those qualities going for him.
Gotcha.
Well, speaking of watching out, Chris, before we start to pivot here, there's somebody who might need to watch his back, brother. I've been seeing some stories about him in the last week or so. So any update on our man Cash Money Records taking over for the 9-9 in the 2000s? What's up with Cash Patel on these streets, brother?
His eyes are always on you, brother.
I have no idea.
Both of them in either direction.
I know he's pissed.
You and me.
Yeah. I know a lot of the base is pissed at that guy. He's a Trump sycophant and a Trump acolyte. So as long as he's doing that stuff for Trump, he's good at he's gonna be safe in his job. Trump will fire him if heat starts spilling onto Trump. Like that's what he did with Pam Bondi and all those other people. It's like
you got Pam out the paint real quick.
Right, and gave them fake jobs, like
right.
I don't even remember what the name of the job he gave her was. It just sounded like a bullshit job.
He gave Christy something about the Shield of the Americas. I'm like,
some nonsense. I have no clue what these positions are.
Believe in the shield, Ray. Believe in the shield, brother.
But the thing is if you keep them on the payroll, there's less of a chance that they're gonna go run their mouth about something, because I'm sure Pam Bondi and
she knows some stuff.
Chrissy, I'm sure they know where some bodies are buried at.
She done read the Epstein files, all of them.
yeah. And those Epstein files are very sensitive because, like Michael, like the thing, like the stuff people say about Michael Cohen, and they're getting mad at like the Midas Touch boys for platforming that guy and giving him that mea culpa stuff and all that. The thing is, I think Michael Cohen was sincere when he broke away from Donald Trump. The problem is he was Trump's fixer way back in the day. And the stuff that he told on about Trump is stuff that he didn't tell on about himself. And when those Epstein files started to bubblate, that was like, he started getting into self-preservationist mode. So he goes to Congress and says, I feel like I was coerced into lying on Trump. You weren't coerced, dude. You were questioned by the FBI. Their job is to ask you questions about what you fucking know, and your job is to tell them. There's no coercion there. It's say what you know so you don't go to jail, you dumbass.
They forced me to drink a whole bottle of proper number 12. I was coerced, Chris.
Yeah. So that was what his problem was, is that he told everything he knew, but his name is still, and I'm writing an article. I already wrote the article. It's just got to get this final rewrite. He knows a lot of stuff. That guy is not, and he probably did a lot of stuff. He needs a pardon from Trump. He's in self-preservation mode. He's a guy, he lived a cushy lawyer life and had to do some time in prison. I don't care if it's a minimum security prison, maximum security prison. At the end of the day, jail is jail. If you're used to being a lawyer on these streets, moving about the way you want to move about, and all of a sudden you're in jail, that's not something you want to revisit. So he's testifying and saying
taking you to jail.
Yeah, so he's gonna make friends.
You to prison.
Yeah, so he's gonna make friends.
Oh,
with
there they go, right there.
They coming.
Run, Michael, run.
Yeah, so they're so he's gonna say the stuff he needs to say.
Oh, that was perfect.
To make sure he doesn't go to jail, to get back in Trump's good graces. So yeah, but I think when he turned on Trump, he was telling the truth. It's just he didn't tell the complete truth. And and that's the thing about living these past lives and stuff, because it's like, yeah, you want to be and this is what happens to a lot of gangsters and stuff like that too, is like, yeah, you want to be a Christian and you want to be like a good, upstanding person, law-abiding citizen, father to your newborn baby and all that stuff. But if there's some shit in your past with those old gangs, you're just not shaking it off. It's still gonna be
just when I thought I was out.
Yeah. There's
Bring
still
me right back in.
Yeah, there's still something you got to resolve, man. Godfather 3 was which is a good Godfather movie too, outside of Sofia Coppola.
Damn. But it is a thing. ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this conversation, again, I'm gonna keep teasing it because it's gonna happen. But whether it's called the fuckery or the learning class or whatever the case may be, this man Chris Ely got his finger on the pulse, ladies and gentlemen, of what's going on in politics and in political psychology and why these people do the things that they do. So I'm excited for when we are able to kind of bring that to the masses. But it's interesting right now. Like, if you're paying attention, like don't let this man Trump distract you with the sideshow and this new Air Force One that's really an old Air Force One, Chris. Don't let him distract you with this green water that Raiden put in
I have an article about that plane that's coming out on Lincoln Square sometime this week.
Yeah, it's like we got the most ghetto press. It's crazy because I remember when Obama was elected, they were like, he's gonna make the White House ghetto. We ain't ever seen the White House as ghetto as it is under this man 45, 47, where everything is for sale, Chris. Everything.
Yeah, all Obama did was install basketball courts in the gym.
Right.
Yeah, that's all he did.
Brother just wanted to hoop on his days off.
Right, yeah. Shoot,
this man DJT got doggone Dodge Rams on the ellipse. Like, it ain't.
I know he's got UFC fighters fighting on there and stuff. What pissed me off about the UFC stuff the most is just the debate from our internet colleagues talking about, well, I think this was a success. Like, no, dude, you're not. You're thinking of this in short-term value. This was not a successful event. This was a black eye for everybody involved, including Donald Trump. It's not going to hurt him today, but it is going to hurt him. It's going to hurt Dana White. It's going to hurt all those fuckers. Trust me on that.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like the history books 100 years from now, Ray. It's like, and today we're going to talk about that one time where the damn president of the United States threw a fight on the White House grounds.
Yeah, I follow this guy Rick Strom, who's with who does stuff with the Young Turks, and he had a short on this where it's kind of similar to a technique that the Romans did back in the day called bread, or either the Romans.
Oh, you're talking about the dude with the glasses, right?
Yes,
I know who you're talking about with the black hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
He was talking about a thing that they did called bread and circus. So it's like, oh, well, if things are going wrong, just feed them free food and then give them some entertainment, give them some gladiator fighting, give them some clowns coming out there. And so, and then he equated that to UFC Freedom 250.
Right.
And he said that, oh, well, but the bread wasn't even free. The water wasn't even free. I will challenge. There was free water. There was not free bread. There was not free food.
How much was the bread, Ray?
I had to pay like $20 for a personal pizza. Ain't that some?
Damn.
That water wasn't free either. I'm sure, even
that was taxpayer water.
Out of the taxpayer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you got that. That price came out of something, man.
You welcome, Ray.
Yeah. And the trick is it's not free water, it's complimentary water.
Yes, complimentary water. Compliment to the American taxpayers.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, it's this. I mean, this whole thing is just weird. I don't know if our politics are ever gonna get back to a place of normalcy. Because I think what the old definition of normal is shifting. When I worked in Washington, it would be a very common thing to see somebody like a Joe Biden eating lunch with a Mitch McConnell, and that just be how it is, and Republicans and Democrats can be friends like that,
right?
Even when Bill Clinton was getting his library dedicated to him, George W. Bush spoke at that dedication and just spoke very, very glowingly of Bush and of Clinton and all of Clinton's accomplishments and stuff.
W love hanging around with the Democrats on all these openings. Like he'll never be with his own people. He like Barry, Laura, Barry, Michelle. Good to see you again.
Right? Yeah, because Trump changed his positioning as president, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like all he's got to do is like chill at his house and paint dogs and that's all it is. Like I was watching some interview with Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle is like, Trump is so bad of a president that you look back at the Bush president, and I'm like, why was I so negative on this guy? And that's the Jedi mind trick this shit plays with you, you know?
Right.
It's like, you know, because
it's not that Bush was good, it's that we're in hell right now, Chris.
Right. And the thing with Bush is everything Bush did was within like the letter of the law, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the war,
like normal president shit.
Right, yeah, like the war was a war based off of lies and stuff. But at the end of the day, you can also make the case like, well, if you're volunteering for the military, you have to follow the president's orders.
Right.
It really is that simple.
He wasn't just starting wars like Trump. Like Trump ain't even asked nobody if we could fight.
Congress, Bush had Congress back him up on the wars. And some of those people in Congress were Democrats, you know. It just is what it is, you know.
Trump just starting wars, and then we won the war. The war is over, and then 2 weeks later we back at war. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a reason why all the presidents before him never started wars with Iran. You know, it was never a good idea. But he really needed people's eyes off.
We're going to attack the Strait. Like Strait what? You be straight over there. Don't be over there in Hormuz, cuz you don't know about them streets.
Yeah. Because every minute spent talking about this war is a minute we're not talking about the Epstein files.
Talk about it.
Well, you know what? Sometimes, Ray, when the world get crazy, man, we in the war, we out of the war. Like I didn't know you could take a time out during the war. Like we just, you know, hey, 20 second. like, but we back in the war. Like when stuff is going crazy with the war, stuff going crazy in the world, Ray, I like to take a break, man.
Oh yeah.
Like to grab me a complimentary taxpayer paid water and take a stroll on down to the lake, Ray.
Oh.
Because that's where I like to free my mind and think about things in life. First of all, R.I.P. to Lindsey Graham, and you can use whatever letters you want to stand for those R.I.P. You know, I'm not gonna judge whatever you want to feel about Lindsey Graham. R.I.P. ? To Mitch McConnell. And R.I.P. eventually to Donald Trump. But those are stories that we broke today, Ray Williams. But when I don't want to think about all this death and destruction, I like to go to the lake and feed these ducks on the pond. Hit the music, Ray.
Of course.
All right. This is a segment that we do each episode of the Parley called Feeding Ducks on the Pond, where each one of us brings a topic to the table. Could be serious, could be silly, could be deep and thought-provoking. And we bring it to the table and we talk about it. So we're going to get into some Feeding Ducks on the Pond as our final segment this week on the Parley. So let's see who should go first. Who? I think Ray Williams should go first.
All
you
right.
knew it was coming.
I knew.
Ray, what is your question for the group?
All right. Well, I was pontificating as we were closing out our last segment. So I do have a question, Brother Nate, and I'll pose this to the group. So, Brother Chris, I don't know if you caught the beginning part, but we opened up the show discussing UFC 329 and the disappointing return of one notorious Conor McGregor. So I'll pose this to you, gentlemen. Was there ever a point in your life. It could involve entertainment. It could involve politics. It can involve anything within your personal life where you were anticipating something to happen and your hopes were very, very high. But once it did happen, the disappointment set in either very, very quickly or over time. So what was some of the things that you've highly anticipated but turned out to be a huge disappointment?
That's a really good question, Ray. So Chris, I'll let you go first, brother. What is something that you were highly anticipating, whether it was a sporting event, whether it was something in politics, something in music, entertainment, whatever, something that you anticipated that you were highly disappointed in?
So I'm not trying to rekindle any old beefs with any old exes because you know, for the most part they were squashed and taken care of. But if it was anything that I anticipated,
sound like some mafia shit, they were taken care of, boss.
Yeah, well, the beef part of it, you know, we kind of settled that.
We won't be hearing from her again.
Yeah. But if there's anything that I anticipated and then like got there and like, what the fuck is this? It was my relationship with my ex. Started in 2009, ended in 2014.
Bring that music down a little bit, Ray.
I won't name any names, but she'll know who she is by those times circa.
Jade Cargill.
But it just like, you know, I like, and this is the thing too, and this is why I stopped doing this. I spent like months courting her, and then when she finally became my girlfriend, it was like we stayed together for a little while, but things start going left relatively fast. You know, I don't know if it was my fault or her fault, but it just wasn't everything it was cracked up to be. Because you're thinking like, yeah, if I date this girl, that's going to be the answer to all my prayers and stuff like that. So after that failed relationship, I was going to say experiment, but it was a relationship. I did love her for a little while. So, but after that failed relationship, I stopped. The courting stuff was like, do you like me? Do I like you? Yes, no, and that was just how it was.
I likes you and I want you. We could do this the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah, like me and my wife, we got together. There was no bullshit games on our parts. It was like,
how did you first ask your wife out, Chris? Shout out to your lovely wife. I'm interested in how that went down.
That was funny too, because it was a very, very bad week because I had just gotten my job at Ventura College, and I was driving on the 405 going home, and I got pulled over by the police.
Damn.
The tags on my car were expired, and I didn't get them registered in a timely fashion. So what the police did was, and they could have let me go, but they were like, well, nah, we're gonna have to tow your car. So we got to
make an example out of you.
And I was like, dude, I was like, I just started a job. I'm gonna pay this shit on Friday. Can you, cut me some slack? And I was like, and they were like, no, we can't do that. And then I was like, well, we are on the middle of the fucking 405. Can you
supposed to get home, cuz?
Yeah, can you at the very least give me a ride to the gas station or something? And they did that. So
damn.
So when my girlfriend called, like she was we met through something. I don't know if it was an app or maybe it was through a friend or something, because I had her number was already saved on my phone from months ago. So I don't even know how I had her number. And she messaged me saying, hey, I'd like to go out sometime. So I called her up and I was like, look, babe, because when you reach a certain age, and I was like 34 4:35. I was like, look, just got my fucking car towed. I don't know how I'm gonna get it back, but so if you don't want to go out with me, you're free not to go out with me. But if you do want to go out with me, we could go out. And
I got gas money.
and she appreciated my honesty.
Okay.
And we went out again. So the way I got my car back.
Where'd you go?
We went to
That's when I knew he was the one for me. That's what your wife was.
Yeah, we went to like this restaurant in Highland Park where I used to live at. I forget the name of it.
What kind of food was it?
It was like Mexican food.
Okay.
And then the way I got my car back is I was like, my friend called me at wanting to hang out with me that night. And I was like, dude, I just got my car fucking towed by the LAPD. I can't hang out with nobody. He said, well, I'll come and pick you up. I was like, dude, I ain't in the mood to hang out with anybody. and then he said, well, I work at AAA and I can help you get your car back. And I was like, how do you help me get my car back? And he said, so what you got to do is go to AAA and pay for your registration there and use a check to pay for your registration. And I was like, I don't have the cash in my bank account to cover the check.
They don't know that.
He said, write the check. He said, when you get paid? I said, I get paid on Friday. He said, write the check to them. It'll take them about a week or two to deposit the check.
Well, the floating check days, boy.
And then you'll get your car back. So I got my car back the next day. Because you know how it is with impound. When your car gets impounded, this was a fear of mine too. It collects more money that you owe on it to get it out.
Correct.
So I was like, man, I'm screwed all over the fucking place because I'm not going to be able to afford the thousands of dollars. I had just started Ventura, so the money wasn't rolling in like fast yet. And he told me to do that. I went to the register at the AAA office because I was a member of AAA. The black lady at the register, she was like, oh, hey. And I gave her my check. She gave me some clean registration. I took it to the impound lot, paid them their, I think it was like $185.
Okay.
Drove home, called up my future wife and was like, yo, I actually can take you out this week. I was like, let's do Friday because I get paid on Friday. And then when we started dating, because my wife was already established in her career when we started dating.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not really the greatest with money. And I'm actually making good money, but I want to figure out, can you help me out with it? She was a finance major, so it was like, she was. So she
you like the black JBL, Chris. You a finance lady.
Yeah. So she was like, she was like, she's like, okay, I see what's going on. She said, you make a decent amount of money. It's just your money is going to a lot of different places. She said you can still live the life that you live without sacrificing much, but what you have to do is get a fixed amount that you spend for the month on anything you want to spend it on. Once that money is gone, don't spend anymore. That's kind of what helped me out in my financial rut. And now we make our money together and stuff, and we still have separate bank accounts too. So we both kind of like and we have a joint account, but we use our separate accounts more, It's just been but that was the long answer to your question, Ray, is that was the worst because my ex girlfriend was not able to, we weren't able to be what we needed to be to each other,
Right.
It wasn't like she was like evil. It was just more so like I couldn't be what she needed me to be, and she couldn't be what I needed her to be. So that was that. And then my wife, we were both like, she was already established in her career, and I was at the beginning of my professional teaching career, because I had already been teaching as like a teaching assistant and all these rinky-dink jobs, but I was at the beginning of my
North Dakota State.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was that. So it was a whole thing with that. Are we on the Substack too?
I tried to get it working on the Substack.
Okay.
I tried to put it through the stream key, but it's not.
It didn't work.
Cooperating.
We'll figure it out for the next time, Ray. But
I saw you on the Substack for the UFC thing.
Okay, yeah. I think I had it working with. I think I got to change both, like the URL that's a part of it and the.
Okay, well, I don't mind, because if we are on the Substack, I know a bunch of my readers will start asking me like deeper questions about that and stuff. So I'm glad with this not being on Substack right now. So
yeah, that was a great answer, Doc, and great question, Ray Williams. Great question.
Thank you.
For me, honorable mention goes to the McDonald's snack wrap. You done hyped this up for years. People like, hey man, bring back the snack wrap, dog. Bring back the snack wrap. It was one of McDonald's greatest food items, Chris. Little floury tortilla with the chicken and a little shredded cheese and the mayo or whatever type of sauce, the ranch. For years, people wanted the snack wrap back. Finally, McDonald's was like, hey, we heard you. We heard what the people wanted, and we brought the snack wrap back. And I bought it day one, Ray. I was at work. I was like, my buddy was like, hey, I'm going to McDonald's. You want anything? I'm like, nah, because I don't really rock with McDonald's like that, Ray. But then I was like, hey, hold on, brother. Here's a few dollars. Bring me back. Eat like, because I think they had the classic, they had the spicy, and it was like a honey mustard one. I like, bring me back one of each of the snack wraps, brother.
Big ball.
So he comes back. You know, hey, Chris ain't the only financial wizard on these streets. So he brings the snack wraps back. I go on lunch, off the clock, obviously, because the job don't believe in giving us full lunch breaks, but that's neither here nor there. And so I take the first bite of the snack wrap, Ray, and I'm like, okay. Like you ever had to hype yourself up for something that you know deep down it ain't no good, it's basura. But you committed. You committed to it. Yeah. You wanted to be great. So I took the first bite. I'm like, you know, it's reminiscent of that old snack wrap feeling.
Right.
Keep eating the snack wrap. Finish the first one. Like, okay, that was, you know, it was okay. It was okay. Let me try the spicy though, because I know they went all out for this spicy snack wrap, Ray. Try the spicy. Like, it's sort of familiar. But you know what? The honey mustard joint, though, that's the one they probably put the most time in, because a lot of people like the honey mustard, right? So let me try the honey mustard. Tried the honey mustard, finished it, and just like, my buddy was like, hey, man, how them snack wraps? And I was like, it was a disappointment. like, don't do it. Don't do it. So the McDonald's snack wrap, you know, you had 10 years to make it right, McDonald's, and you made it wrong. So the snack wrap gets an honorable mention. But for me, when we talk about something that I anticipated and was excited for, and then when I went there, it wasn't what I thought it would be. Now, this is a little bit different from the snack wrap because I still enjoyed it for the most part, Ray, but it was so much less than it could have been. And this was after my freshman year of college. So I went to Busch Gardens, which is here in Williamsburg, Virginia, because they had a summer concert series at the time. And they bring all these different
Busch Gardens. Yeah.
They bring all these different singing groups down, Chris, you know, just various musical genres. You know, they would have like AC/DC at Busch Gardens. I'm like, no, thank you. Or John Cicada performs at Busch Gardens. I'd be like,
I'd be down with both of those.
Just Another Day was hot, but you know, I would, because here's the thing, Chris, you got to pay to get into the park, and then you got to pay for the concert. It ain't just one ticket price. Yeah. So like I had to save my money. I'm like, who do I really want to see at Busch Gardens? So no on AC/DC, no on John Cicada. I think they had like a 80s mall girlies show with like Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. That one almost got me. It almost got me. I was like, you almost got. I think we're alone now, but you're gonna be alone because I ain't gonna be at the concert.
To lure you in with the milk.
They tried to get me, Ray. They tried to trick me. I was like, no, ma'am, thank you, no, thank you.
Like John Cicada got so much VH1 airplay.
He did, but just another day with that. That joint was. I don't know no other John Cicada songs, but that just another day.
I know some other ones too. Like he had this one, "If You Go, Say Goodbye."
Okay.
Yeah.
In that same vein, I think maybe the week after, either the week after, or they was on the same show because I think they were just like we putting a bunch of people together that people would like to see. It was John Cicada and Mark Anthony because Mark Anthony had.
That would be my shit too. I love Mark Anthony.
I think this was before J-Lo though. I think it was before J-Lo.
Yeah, I think but anyway, he was the best when he was right before J-Lo.
Yeah, right before J-Lo.
Yeah.
Chris, it wasn't Mark Anthony. It wasn't John Cicada. It wasn't AC/DC. It wasn't even Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. It was New Edition, dog.
Yeah.
New Edition came to Busch Gardens, and I was like, that's the one. That's the one I'm going to pay not only the fee to get into the park, but also to get to this concert. Because New Edition, like they was on the comeback tour, Chris, one of the many comeback tours, where everybody was in the group for the first time in a little minute. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ralph, and Johnny too. And I bought my ticket, me and my homeboy with them. Like, man, we about to go see New Edition, cuz I can't even believe it, man. This is amazing. So we pull up to Busch Gardens, Chris. And as I just listed off, 6 members of the complete New Edition lineup. We get to Busch Gardens, announcer comes in. Williamsburg, Virginia. Anheuser-Busch and Busch Gardens proudly presents the summer concert series. Are you ready for the New Edition? And we was like, yeah, we ready. We've been ready. We'll give it up for Ronnie DeVoe, Ricky Bell, and Ralph Tresvant. What? And I'm like, hold on, you missing some names, player. I see Ronnie, I see Ricky, and I see Ralph, but where Bobby and Johnny and Michael Bivins, where they at? It was 3 members of New Edition. It was like 2/3 of Bell Biv DeVoe and 1/6 of New Edition was on stage, Chris. Technically half a New Edition because the other 2 is New Edition as well.
Yeah.
But it was just Bell Biv DeVoe without Biv and Ralph Tresvant, and basically all they did, like they did a couple New Edition songs, like they did "Cool It Now," but then the funny part was he was like, when you know the part of the song, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, if I like the girl, who cares who you like? They didn't even do that part because he knew we was like, hey, they ain't even here. They're not even here for you to ask them the question. And then they did a couple Bell Biv DeVoe songs. And then the last song they did, it was like, we gonna close this out in classic New Edition fashion for all the NE fans in Williamsburg today. And I'm like, okay, maybe they'll hit us with like a NE Heartbreak, Chris. Like, you remember that one? That was a good joint.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, or maybe like something off the new record. It was like, we know y'all been waiting for this one. You need a man with sensitivity. I'm like, Ralph, you don't sit your ass down. I didn't pay all this money to come here so you could be singing Sensitivity. It's hot in the summertime in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I'm out here sweating, and you didn't give me what I wanted. So I was immediately, Chris, not even 5 minutes into the show, I was just like, this ain't even what I paid for. And it was funny because the whole audience, you could tell, Chris, the whole audience was kind of like, this ain't what we want. But it's also like we paid all this money, so we might as well watch the show. And it was just this general feeling of disappointment throughout the entire stadium, the entire like half amphitheater setup that they had. And it's just like, they finished the show with Sensitivity, closed it out, the showstopper. And it was like, thank you. We love you, Williamsburg. New Edition for life. And we're just like, it was like the most polite clap at the end of a concert. It's like, thank y'all for showing up, I guess. do I get my money back on this? Like nobody was happy. Nobody was happy, Chris. But again, I didn't hate the show because it was still pretty good, but it was far less than what I wanted, man.
Right, yeah.
Like I get it if Bobby don't show up. Bobby do that from time to time, Chris. But Johnny's supposed to be the responsible one. And he didn't even. Johnny was like, I'm not going to Williamsburg. I'm not doing this.
You got close enough to BBD, but you couldn't like
right. BBD didn't even show up all the way. Like, and Michael Bivins, if we know nothing else about Mike Biv, he loved his money. And Michael Bivins was like, nah, you can keep your theme park money in Anheuser-Busch. So yeah, that was a disappointing New Edition show.
What was it? Amusement park you said it was again?
Busch Gardens.
Okay, but so that's a Busch theme park.
Yep, it's Anheuser-Busch, Williamsburg. Because there's one in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I think there's still one in Florida.
Right, yeah, because I was there like in 2024. I'm a theme park person that follows who like own, because Cedar Point theme parks and Six Flags theme parks merged together. Like Six Flags theme parks has all the like Warner Brothers characters like Bugs Bunny. And then Cedar Park theme parks has like the Peanuts and Charlie Brown and all that shit.
Yeah,
back in the day, the Busch Gardens they had like the Nickelodeon characters.
They did, they did. They had Nickelodeon World at Busch Gardens for a little minute. We could get slimed.
Yeah. That went to Universal.
Yep. Yeah, we got Busch Gardens and we got King's Dominion, which is a Six Flags
that's
park.
Paramount. King's Dominion. Now
it's Paramount's. Yep.
Yeah.
But King's Dominion was hilarious because when they were under Six Flags, like you said, Chris, they had the Warner Brothers characters. So one of their famous roller coasters was the Scooby-Doo roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those like beginner roller coasters, like for like kids and stuff, and people that don't like crazy roller coasters. And I remember our church youth group went there one time, and it was like, when you go with a big youth group, you kind of split the youth group into twos or maybe threes, and you each have to do everything that everybody else wants to do.
Yeah.
And so the group that we were in, like I was in the older part of the group, but we still had like 5th graders and 6th graders on the trip with us. And so they're like, well, we got to do everything. You don't have to ride every ride, but we do have to let the people ride on the things they want to do and before we move on to another attraction. So the kids wanted to go on a Scooby-Doo roller coaster. And me and my buddy, we was like in the 11th grade, and we like, man, we ain't even tripping off no Scooby-Doo roller coaster. But then I was like, we could make this the most fun roller coaster ever, though, if we just like Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, oversell everything. And so like it's these little dips and inclines, Chris, and we going up the incline, and me and my boys like, oh snap, this is crazy. Scooby, you crazy for this one. Don't do it, Scoob. Don't do it, Scoob. And then we go down a little dip, like, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I said Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And it's so hilarious because the kids in our youth group, they were laughing. They was like, man, them dudes are crazy. Once we got off the roller coaster, though, the roller coaster attendant like looked at us and was like, like motioned us over. And we're like, okay. We're like, yeah, what's going on, sir? You guys need to respect the rules of King's Dominion. We're like, huh? You're like, you making a mockery out of the Scooby-Doo roller coaster. Stop it. You were scaring some of the people on the rides, and it's not what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about fun and enjoying your day at King's Dominion Six Flags. And then, like, again, this man was probably about my age now, so he was like in his 40s, and he's admonishing us, Chris, for being over the top on the Scooby-Doo roller coaster. And I'm just like, we just both look at this man and we're like, oh, okay. And we just kind of slowly back away from this man who was obsessed with the Scooby-Doo roller coaster and the rules and regulations of Six Flags King's Dominion. Yeah, Scooby-Doo roller coaster, man. But Ray Williams, you asked the damn question. What is your answer for something that you anticipated highly, but you were greatly disappointed?
All right, well, I do have a bit of an honorable mention, and it's similar to brother Chris, where there was a platonic friend who I've made. I want to say back
Cunningham.
in about 2012 or so. Platonic friend, or I thought there could be something more, but then things happened to where, like, I mean, things happened to where we didn't see each other for a while, and then like a few years went back down the line, and then we would reconnect.
Why
And then,
do I feel this way? Why does she stay on my mind all the time?
you go. way to bring it full circle with the
Have my boy in his feelings.
and so we reconnect, and then again, we're just like kind of hanging out with each other, but it's nothing like really moving on more than just like friendly going out and getting stuff to eat and things like that. And then it's kind of like she goes on her ways, I go on my way, and then fast forward to I want to say like 2023.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We're on Instagram, and you're on Instagram, and we kind of DM each other and try to see what things are at the time, and just check in on her and see how she's doing. And she's gone through some things, and so like I help her out with things at her home, and just, but I'm still like in the mode of, well, I'm still trying to see where things go. But then like she's it's kind of similar to what Chris was talking about, where she's expecting things of me that I just wasn't anticipating and that I couldn't be for her at the time. And like
be a father to your son, Ray Williams.
So like I'm putting in a lot of effort to help her with things, but it just doesn't seem as though it's kind of being returned. And then like she says I'm using her, and I was like, I ain't tell you we was getting it together. I ain't using like
using and abusing Ray Williams.
Nah. I was trying to see where things went and take things step by step, and she already trying to jump ahead. And so,
love him and leave him, Ray.
Nah, not me. So like I said, we similar to Chris, is just like I couldn't be what she needed at the time, and she couldn't be what I needed. And it's not as though like she did anything crazy or that I did anything crazy. That's just how it worked out. So
Ray over there talking about something. Love and leave them. That's what I used to do. Old Rick James ass.
But I think the main story that falls under this for me is that I think I told you guys before, I used to work security at a college in Washington,
you sent
D.C.
that brother to jail.
Nah, yes. It's a different story to that one, but I used to work security, right? And so at their student union, they would have like these different events and stuff, and so they were advertising doing like a school-wide talent show, like school-wide idol or whatever. So and at the time I was kind of taking up stand-up comedy, right? So I figured, you know what, let me go ahead, see where this goes. Let me see, tell some jokes. If I don't get it, then that's cool. But if I get it, then I end up getting in the competition. Who knows? I might win it. I might win some money. Somebody might spot me from like a TV network. I get my own sitcom. Who knows? You never know if you don't try, right? So I go in for the audition. So going for the audition, telling my jokes, mainly jokes specifically about the school, and I joke around about how the libido of these college students is crazy and going all that stuff. And there's one particular joke that I tell, like when I'm assisting one of the special police officers, because the security is a part of the campus police. So I'm assisting them with kind of going to a dorm that's kind of been reported for a noise complaint. So we show up at the dorm room. We knock on the door. We get there. They open the door. Music is loud. One of the special police officers says, "Hey, turn the music down." And then, like, almost immediately, one of the students or whoever's in the room is like, "Turn down for what?" Because that was the little John.
Got him.
Right. The punchline of my joke was like, I think that should be necessary cost for use of force. I don't think that should be police brutality in that moment if I swung on them. So that's one of my jokes. That's the big one that I had in my head, right? And so,
that was a showstopper.
That's what I thought.
That was your sensitivity.
That is going to be the showstopper in more than one way when I tell you about the rest of everything that happened. But so needless to say, I'm killing, right? Like the judges of the panel of the audition, they cracking up, right? So I'm like, man, it's easy, boy. Like, I'm killing, boy. I'm a shoo-in, right? So fast forward a few days later, right? So I'm just chilling I just get to work. And one of my supervisors called me in, like right after we got done with our roll call, where they let us know where our assignments are for the night, right? They called me in to the office while everybody else left, and they were like, "Hey, Ray, did you go and do an audition with somebody and do like some comedy or something?" I was like, "Yeah." I don't know.
You've heard of my work.
What that has to do with my job, but okay. Yes. And so the supervisor was like, "Well, they were taping the auditions and the tape got back to one of like the boosters for the university, and they didn't really like some of the jokes that you told. Can you think of one joke in particular that might have set them off?" I was like, "Maybe, possibly."
When I threatened violence on their kids.
You're right. So it was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to put you on. We're gonna have to put you on leave until we figure this out."
Damn.
And then two days later, I got fired. I was like, "What, for some jokes? For some jokes?
The joke's on you."
This was supposed to be my big break. I was gonna quit anyway once I won this competition.
It was like, what happened to freedom of speech?
I know, right? That's exactly what I thought. It was like, that don't mean freedom of consequences, my boy. That's what these people need to learn now.
It means we can't put you in jail.
Damn, that's crazy.
If you ain't working for yourself, you got to watch what you say. If you're working for yourself, you can make all the jokes you want.
My boy thought he was gonna be the next Craig Robinson and ended up being the next Negro fired.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Ray.
Yeah, but it ended up kind of working out, because then I ended up getting into teaching, and that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I ended up, because I was already trying to set myself up. I had that was 2014 that I ended up getting fired. Just a year before I graduated from college, and I was already kind of putting some feelers out to go into like a teacher preparation program. So
okay,
the teacher preparation program ended up working out like 6 months later, and then I ended up starting to get into teaching. So
here's the sad thing though, Ray, and not to say nothing about, young Ray from back in the day, but I think Chris had the same reaction too. As me and Chris were listening to you tell your show-stopping joke, I was like, okay, that was funny. That was funny. Then when you got to the part about beating up the kids, I was like, oh, that ain't gonna work out for Ray.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna work, dog.
Yeah,
like police brutality. I got a new one for you. Oh, Ray.
It's exaggeration, brother. I'm not going to act out on these impulses. I'm just exaggerating for the purpose of the joke.
Like that joke is funny if a security guard is not saying it, Ray. Like somebody who actually could put this joke into effect. Damn. That is crazy. Getting fired over a joke.
Yeah, so I ain't telling no jokes about my high school, bro. I ain't getting me hemmed up. Fool me once. Shame on you.
Hate to see it happen. Good question and answer, Ray. Chris, what question do you have for the group, brother?
Well, my question is real simple because I just received an email.
Okay.
Our friend, colleague, one of the proprietors of Post Wrestling, Wei Ting,
okay,
saying that it's almost time for us to do another review show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Chris.
What should we be reviewing as far as wrestling albums are concerned?
Okay. So Chris's question, for those that don't know, Chris and I, it's mainly Chris, but I've always been asked along to partake in a Rewind Away, where Chris has gone through a series of wrestling albums. We've done WCW. Which WCW album was it, Chris?
The first one was WCW. It was the very first one with Ron Simmons and all
Slam Jam.
And then the second one was the Christmas album that came out in the UK
with not Marcus Bagwell. Alex Wright, the Wonder Kid.
Alex Wright, yeah, he's doing his little thing on that one.
Yeah,
and then
so the Slam Jam album, like for those that haven't heard that review, that's still to this day I get like every 6-7 months or so, 6-7, Ray. I'll get an email or a DM from somebody like, "Hey man, I just heard that Slam Jam review from like 5 years ago. It still hits."
Yeah, that's my favorite one we did. It was just because that album was just so out there,
Yeah.
But yeah.
So and then we did a WWF. We did the WrestleMania album.
Yeah, that one. I like that one too.
And then we did one more, I think. We did
we did I want to say the WWF the music
volume 1.
Yeah.
We're like kind of tracing the origins of Jim Johnston.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we got a little catalog going. So it's almost time for Chris to do another review, and Wei has asked him what album we should be talking about. So Ray, what wrestling album do you think me and Chris should tackle with Wei Ting?
All right. Well, I have a soft spot, and I'm glad you asked this because I have a very, very soft spot for this one particular album.
Okay.
It is WWF Forcible Entry.
Yeah.
Terrible title.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially knowing what we know now.
Is that the metal album?
Yes. Metal, some grunge in there a little bit. But yeah, it's got the game from Drowning Pool, Disturbed's version of Stone Cold Song, which is iconic in my mind. The Beautiful People, which was the SmackDown theme song for a while.
It was the Raw theme song briefly too.
Yeah. And then my favorite, Whatever, from Our Lady of Peace, which was the theme song for one rabid Wolverine whose name will not be spoken of.
That was a great theme song.
To the point, like, I would listen to that. I would have that on my CD player in high school when I was. That would be my ramp up song because I was on the soccer team to which I would say this. Our soccer team, brother Nate, you'll get this joke. My soccer team was the Justin was the JG of our county. We were like 0-75. But I would get hyped up, boy. Just put on that Whatever, and I'm ready to go. Boy, just put me
ready to go lose.
Yeah. But that would be my choice if you guys would ever, if you guys do another music album review. WWE Forcible Entry.
Okay, Ray's going with Forcible Entry. Terrible title aside, there are some good tracks on it. I'm kind of in the same vein with Ray, but I'll go to the other end of the musical spectrum, Chris, because there was an album where the WWE decided, or WWF at the time, decided to get a little bit more urban, Chris. Teamed up with some of the famous rappers of the day, like Method Man. Like, I think Busta's got a song on the album.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Busta. It was his song was about The Rock.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Method Man had a song about The Rock too.
Yeah.
No, Busta. No, Method Man's song was about The Rock. Busta's song was about I forgot. Method Man's song was about The Rock.
Yeah,
Finally,
pull up the track list for that one, Ray.
I'm pulling it.
Because my favorite song, on the whole album, though, as much as I dislike Triple H, this was the coolest Triple H has ever been to me.
Oh, the DX.
When Run DMC had the DX joint, cuz that
was
song is amazing.
That was fire. Yeah.
The King of Rock, what? That be my hobby and job. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they would sometimes play that music video on like Rap City and what was the MTV version of MTV Jams?
MTV Jams, yeah.
Yeah.
The King of Rock, what? That be my hobby and job. I got a rhyme for ye. I got a rhyme for you.
Yeah, so that was my runner up. That was gonna be
WWF Aggression.
Yeah, WWF Aggression. They had I think, like you said, Run DMC with
I forgot about Ice-T with the Godfather joint.
Oh yeah.
Godfather's in the house. Yeah. Grab your bitch heads. Like, oh, okay, sir.
That's
Pippin ain't easy, man.
Yeah.
Now there was it's not on this list, but it was an underrated one. I thought it was on here. I think, was it Cypress Hill had one for Taz? Somebody
that
had
was just
one
that was on the Forcible Entry album, Just Another Victim.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, that's why I remember it so fondly. But yeah, they got Stone Cold, Snoop Dogg did something for Stone Cold, Snoop Dogg and Dub C.
Yes, Dub C on the WWF album.
All right. C Murdered and Magic did something for Gangrel. This is just like a time capsule.
Yes.
Mystical and Raz Kaz did a Triple H thing.
I don't even remember that one. Now I want to hear Mystical talking about the game.
Mac 10 MC8 did one for the Big Show. Kevin McCall.
Yeah, Big Show was coming out to that rap song too, the one that MC8 did.
Like I remember the D-Generation X song the most. I remember the Ice-T Pimpin' Ain't Easy, and then of course I remember like the Method Man song for The Rock, because that was what I used for the final segment on the Rocky Via Picture Show.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like there's some good tracks on this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got two really good contenders right now, Chris. You asked the damn question. Is there any album in your mind right now that's maybe in the lead for what you're going to tell Way?
Well, I do have to bring this up before I get into my album.
Okay.
The Ice-T came out at WrestleMania 2000 with D'Lo Brown and The Godfather, and they had D'Lo Brown dressed like a pimp too, and Ice-T wrapped him to the ring. And they ended up losing the curtain jerker match to fucking Test.
Yes.
And some other doofus. Who was the other guy?
Were there TNA? Were they testing Albert?
I don't think it was Albert yet. It could have been, but
let me look it up.
It was a great performance.
Sure.
GODFATHER, even though the wrestling song.
Yeah, how are you gonna have Ice-T come out with these dudes? And then have them lose in the Los Angeles media market too. Thought it was just kind of bullcrap.
Pimpin' ain't easy, man. That was a great song.
I got it up. At WrestleMania 2000, held on April 2nd, 2000 in Anaheim, California, rap icon Ice-T made a special live appearance. He performed the song Pimpin' Ain't Easy to accompany the wrestlers, The Godfather and D'Lo Brown during their entrance. I just read who the second person was. Their entrance for the opening match against the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan.
Oh yes, Bull Buchanan. Yeah, it wasn't even
not even testing Albert.
Yeah. That I was insulted by that. Yeah.
B2, B squared.
Yeah, because they ended up losing that match.
Damn, this is the only time Chris will ever speak ill of Ray Traylor that he won that match.
Yeah, because Andrew's young ass was trying to like if you were around in the 80s, you don't understand how many times Big Boss Man and Akeem main evented during that era. And what Big Boss Man was like a big time, and that's the difference between eras too, because if we lived through it, there'd be so many guys that wouldn't be world champion if they were world champs or if they were wrestling as main eventers in the 80s. Because if you look at the 80s, all the people that didn't get the world championship, like Roddy Piper, $1 Million Man,
Junkyard Dog,
Earthquake, and all those people.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect. If in the 2010s and 20s, everyone gets a turn, like like that's just not how it is anymore. Because in the 80s, it was only Hulk Hogan held the moratorium on that title. So it is what it is.
WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
What a show.
Yeah. So I'm probably looking more at the Forcible Entry album, but I had to look a little bit further. I'm thinking of Macho Man.
The diss track, the diss track album.
Be a
man, Hulk.
Oh, with the tribute to Mr. Perfect.
Come on, don't be scared. You're running from Macho like you don't care.
Yeah, man, that was
the line of the song, Chris, that got me was when he was like, he didn't talk all this trash about this man Hulk Hogan. He's like, I'm gonna kick your butt and wash your mouth out with soap, dude. Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be scared. But the Mr. Perfect joint is hot too. Like he got some bootleg Tubi Jodeci in the back. Mr. Perfect, you're my very best friend.
Yeah. And then he like cracked on Hogan, talking about, I've seen your movie straight to video. While I got a featured role in Spider-Man, and just salting the wound on Hulk Hogan.
Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, about to lay down this track, boy.
Yeah. He was kicking it with 50 Cent and all them back then, man. He was like trying to get like serious up in this rap game.
Which is crazy because Macho probably would have been like what, like maybe like 50 something during that time.
Yeah, he had to be. He was 58 when he died, right? Something like that. Yeah, he was probably like 50 something. Little too old to be rapping, but I mean,
to jump into the rap game, not continue your career, but to jump into the rap game.
Right. Like the up and coming rookie, the freshman class. Imagine he was on the double XL
freshman class.
Yeah, Macho Man, in my opinion, always did
Randy Savage.
Yeah, he always did kind of have a rapper swag to him, a little bit, even more than Ric Flair, in my opinion. You know? Just because
Macho Man and B.O.B. on the track, boy, yeah, dig it.
Yeah. So, so that's probably what I'm looking at, is maybe
Macho Man and Macklemore. We're back for more. Yeah. Is Macklemore a better rapper than Macho Man Randy Savage? Chris, can Ray have this one?
I'll give him that one, I guess.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
I won one fight.
Any other albums that come to mind, Chris?
Yeah, I'm thinking of there's this WCW album that was like kind of under the radar. It's got my favorite version of the Four Horsemen theme on it, and
Okay.
it's got the Blondes Have More Fun theme on it, and it's got some other shit on it. So I'm looking at that one as well.
No TNA albums make the list.
I don't. Does TNA have an album? Because if they do,
they do. I believe they had an album like this is during the Jarrett era called Emergence, where it had like all the Emergence theme song, like not the Emergence theme song, like all of the TNA theme songs, like AJ's theme.
Okay, yeah.
Jeff Jarrett's like My World.
Yeah. I hated that song. Like I was watching some dude on like Jeff
Elix
Jarrett.
Skipper's song might be on that album too.
Yeah.
The prime time.
Yeah. Like Jeff Jarrett's TNA push is just as annoying as Triple H's WWE push during that same era too. You know, like they were just booking themselves to be the absolute shit.
And you can hear more about that on Dark Side of the Ring this month.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of those episodes yet. I need to.
I haven't watched them yet. I heard the Pollock and Ting review of the first episode. It sounds interesting, but like it sounds like they had to get a lot of stuff in because it's only 3 episodes when I think they originally wanted to do like a full 6 or 7, Ray, full 6 or 7 episodes on TNA, and then they just shortened it to 3.
That's how you do justice to the documentary, because TNA documentary needs to be at least 2 hours long, you know. Or if you're going to do if you're going to do a doc series, and each episode's like 39 minutes long with commercial breaks, without commercial breaks, it needs to be a good 6 parts just to tell the story like completely.
Like, how is this company still alive?
Yeah, and it's a shame that Dixie wasn't in it either, you know.
Yeah, like that's the one big omission that Way and Pollock talked about is like not having Dixie Carter. Like, yeah, it's good to have Russo and Jarrett and people like that on the documentary, but Dixie not being there, it does leave a big hole in like a big chunk of TNA's history.
And does she just not want anything to do with wrestling these days, or what?
Well, she came to the AMC premiere.
She did
about the building.
Yeah, she was like, I don't need that smoke no more.
Yeah,
she was probably at the house she was at the house. Look, that was Dixie's answer. But was there something you were really anticipating, but you was disappointed? She was getting ready for the show. Serge, this is gonna be great. Could you zip me up, Serge? This is gonna be. I miss seeing all the guys and girls, and then she get there, boo, boo. You need to leave, Dixie. And she's like, let's go home, Serge.
And AMC is a more controlled environment anyway, because she's got the protection. It's TNA.
Yeah.
And you know, she's got that protection from the company in that album, you know.
She wasn't protected from them boos. They couldn't control the crowd on that one, Chris.
Well, that's probably why she didn't want to do the doc now. Yeah, 'cause I forgot about the boos. Yeah.
She was like, nah, I'm not doing that again.
They can't boo you in the interview though, Dixie. You fine.
One would think.
With the camera on.
They're like, Dixie, tell us about your TNA experience. Well, it first started, boo, boo. Like, why are you interviewing me and booing me?
Right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how much booze she should get. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories about her. Like, I've heard stories about, she fucking the wrestlers and stuff like that. And then, well, they don't come out and say it, but they tell stories like that's what they're alluding to, you know. And then I hear stories that, you know, about. I mean, she just wasn't made for the wrestling industry. The industry is too disgusting. And yeah,
poor Dixie.
Yeah.
She didn't know what she was getting into.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some good options.
These wrestlers, like they or even with TKO, you get into wrestling, but you don't study the wrestling industry from a historical lens. You know,
Right.
You study WWE, and then you think you know wrestling.
That's
Like,
right.
with
Right.
wrestling, you really need to be studying it from like the 1800s to the 1990s to the 2000s. You need to study
Freaking
all
Luthez.
aspects of it. Shit.
If you don't know about Luthez, you shouldn't be buying a company.
Right, I agree. I think I mean I think you should know about Luthez. I think you should know about like the history. So just so you understand the psychology
Vern Gagne,
of what makes it work, you know.
Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
Billy
these
the Kid Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because all these idiots have now is like just a myopic view of wrestling. They look at Vince McMahon, all the stuff he did, and like, oh, we could just do more commercials than Vince and do more bullshit and more theatrics, and we will be just as good as Vince, you know. And the whole product sucks now.
And they've got no chance in hell.
Right.
No chance. That's what you got, boy.
We're never gonna hear that song again, unless
Chris picks it for the review.
yeah, or unless and they might let Vince McMahon come back one of these days. Who knows? Maybe they're waiting for the smoke to clear.
That was a great song, though.
Oh yeah, I thought it was. No
It's
chance.
just a matter of time, cause you got no chance, boy.
Yeah, because it was the theme for that one pay-per-view, and then they just made that Vince McMahon's permanent theme song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that random ass rapper that they had, the random white boy rapper that did all their songs.
Right.
Was
He was
that?
better than Macklemore.
Yeah.
He's the same
DX
one that
rapper.
did the DX one, right?
Yeah.
Are
Chris.
you ready?
Chris. What's his name? Chris. Something.
Didn't he
He
pass?
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. He was a better rapper than Macklemore. Ray, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll take that.
I'll break it down. Oh, so we got a lot of good choices that Chris can send away. So for those that are interested, subscribe to the Post Wrestling Cafe, and you will eventually hear Chris Ely, Wei Ting, and myself reviewing a great wrestling album, be it WCW, WWE, maybe TNA. What's Chris saying?
Oh, King Davion 320.
Chris Warren, that's his name. Yeah.
Chris Warren.
Chris
Yeah.
Warren.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris Warren. Yep. R.I.P. to Chris Warren, the Macklemore of pro wrestling. But he was better than Macklemore. Even Ray knows. Or we might review the Macho Man Randy Savage album. You never know where Chris's mind could go. But either way, stay tuned. Check it out, man. But the final question, you know what? I'm going to stick on a musical cue here, Chris. Because last week, Ray and I talked about America's birthday. Happy 250th birthday, America, you raggedy heifer, you. And we talked about how one of Ray's favorite songs that they played at Freedom 250 was Lee Greenwood, and I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the white man who died to give that a right. That's the remix. That was the 2026.
Every time I think of that song, I always think of that episode of Family Guy where that Herbert dude is singing it with those little boys.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no.
God bless the USA.
That's the dumbest song ever, man.
So on that note, Chris, my question to the group is, let's stick to strictly patriotic songs. What is your favorite? Because there has to be one. If you had to choose a favorite patriotic song, what would it be? And I cannot wait to hear Chris's answer. But first, let's go to Red Hat Ray. Red Hat Ray, what's your favorite song about America?
All right. Well, first off, I was jamming to that Lee Greenwood. I ain't gonna lie. Also, they also as
Did you no? Wait. I say you were jamming to that Lee Greenwood, dude.
just a little bit.
Okay, well,
Everybody was singing along too. I couldn't help myself.
You got swept up in the emotion.
yeah, you got fed up on all the Americanness of it. Okay, finish your sentence, Ray.
He was hyped up on all that complimentary water and bread, Chris.
Right, yeah.
Y'all play too much.
The minute I hear that song playing at someplace, that's my exit to leave. I know I do not belong there. There's something going on at that place. If I just hear and I'm proud, I'm like, okay, I gotta get there.
He don't even wait to hear what he's proud of. He just
right,
and
yeah,
I'm proud.
I'm in the wrong fucking neighborhood. This is not where I belong.
Well, it was a good thing for you, Chris, because they did play it at the end, so you'd be like, "Oh, okay, it's time to go now."
Yeah.
So they did play it at the end. And also shout out. I know we talked about this as well. Shout out. They did when DJT was coming out with Dana White.
Mm-hmm.
After they played like the presidential anthem, they started playing I Am a Real American, and this was from like the Marine band, the president's own Marine band. I can't lie, I was jamming to that.
I'm a Real American song is that's a Rick Derringer, right?
Yeah.
That's a good song.
That would probably go hard though, like played by a band. I can see that.
Yeah, I'm proud to be an American is not a good. It's like the dude with the, like it sounds like the guy ready to jack off on the American flag.
The drum line, yeah, I can see it, Ray. I can see it.
Yeah, they were killing it, man. Shout out.
The tuba come in. The piccolo, all the woodwind instruments.
I need to go back. If I rewatch UFC Freedom 250 for one thing, is just to
hear Real American,
again, and then I'm done. But my favorite like patriotic song, I have to, even though this might be blasphemous, because I know everybody loves America the Beautiful, especially the Ray Charles version. I love that song as well. But I think the reason why I love this other particular song more, I think it caught me in the moment, especially during it was right after 9/11, and when they started playing the World Series with the Yankees and the Diamondbacks, and I was kind of big into baseball back then. And then I think it was during the 7th inning stretch, they were playing "God Bless America." I was like, boy, you pull it on my heart. And I was a teenager, but you still pull on my heart. But yeah, that's
from the mountains to the prairies. To the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Sweet home. Boy, I wish that was the
national anthem.
Although I will, you know what? I ain't losing my black card. I'm going with
you already know, Ray. You already know, brother.
Yeah. Well, I know y'all gonna go with, but yeah, I'll say they 1A. Yeah, 1 and 1A. Is the Lift Every Voice and Sing and God Bless America.
Okay.
The Negro anthem, and then God Bless America.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right now, Chris, this is what we've been waiting for. Chris, what is your favorite patriotic song about America, brother?
If I was gonna pick a song about America, I don't really know how patriotic this is, but it'd probably be James Brown, Living in America.
Coast to coast, station to
station,
station.
And it's always like, and I like Roy Wood Jr.'s joke on it about black people don't sing patriotic songs. And he said, I know everyone's thinking about living in America, but James Brown ain't singing about America. He's singing about all the places that is safe for black people to go to in America.
Yes, all the black cities.
All the black cities.
Detroit City. Baltimore. Atlanta, GA, Chicago,
that's the thing about like black
Los Angeles.
is like we don't like black people like all patriotic and shit. But what we will do is if we like a city, we will rep the city all day, like LA, New York, Atlanta. You know, like I rep the fuck out of Atlanta. I hate the state of fucking Georgia. I'll stand on that, but I love Atlanta. I hate the state of Texas, but I love Houston and Dallas and San Antonio and Austin. You know?
Shout out to Austin, home of the Longhorns. Hook 'em.
Right, yeah.
Even California love. They ain't say everywhere in California. They
didn't say Fresno.
Inglewood up to no good.
Yeah, they didn't say Fresno. They didn't say
Orange County.
They ain't say Van Nuys in that bit. They ain't say Bakersfield.
Well, Van Nuys is Los Angeles. That's a little redundant.
Oh, okay.
Van Nuys is just it's a road and it's a community in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Like they're still represented by the.
You have to know your history, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm an East Coaster, so that's why we got to bring each other. That's why we have all these different divisions, so that we can bring each other together.
Yeah, and we're like I think like this month because we were on a streak with those AEW shows, and I think I don't think anybody's going to the next show.
Oh, to Montreal,
right?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe we could talk Kate.
I was saying unless we can enlist Kate.
Yeah, and say, hey, you want to do press for AEW?
When you join Nefarious, it's for life, sister.
By the way, she says she loves Mercedes. She says she's her biggest fan. And y'all tell her she
was saying like I mean she was saying Maya World should beat Mercedes, and she got you drinking that
Kool-Aid
red sauce, you know. I was like, come on, man.
Maybe she was just talking about the story, Chris. It's a better story.
I understand getting caught up in the story and all that shit. But Mercedes, like, y'all, and I had to be in the same vicinity of Mercedes too. If I'd have bought that up to her, she would have probably tried to smack me upside the head and all that.
All right.
She would have smacked him twice, once for him and once for you, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard her when she was leaving the press conference. She was like, "Bye, Chris."
Okay.
She put one of those. Yeah.
So see, we known in these streets, Ray Williams. No, that was a good answer, Chris.
Yeah.
But I asked the damn question, and there's a lot of ways I could go with this. First of all, I'm gonna give you a dishonorable mention, Ray. First ever dishonorable mention. For my least favorite patriotic song, not to speak ill of the dead, R.I.P. to Toby Keith, but he had one of the dumbest songs ever called "The Angry American" during the Iraq War. We'll put a boot in your ass, courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
When did Toby Keith die? I missed that.
What, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 20, I must not. I'm just not up on my.
I would say it was like towards the tail end of the pandemic.
Because he was on he was doing TNA shit for a little while, right?
He did TNA for a little bit. He actually had a restaurant here in Newport News that lasted about a month, and then they closed it down. I was like, you out here money laundering, Toby Keith? What's going on with this restaurant, brother?
I swear these white guys get
allegedly
so childish with the patriotism, man.
Yes, the Angry American song was dumb. Like I think that's what set that was one of the things along with George W. Bush that set the Dixie Chicks off, and then the Dixie Chicks broke bad. And then they had to get out of Nashville because everybody was like, "You get out of here, you liberals!
If you don't like it, you can leave."
Yeah. When all I'll say is when Natalie Maines divorced Adrian Pasdar, and shout out to Adrian Pasdar. I love the actor, but I was like, "Call me Natalie." Call a brother up, I will be the black stepdaddy to your white kids.
You're the daddy that stepped up.
The daddy that stepped up.
Natalie Baines is. I always thought she was hot, man. I think all the Dixie chicks are hot.
Yeah.
Something about her. I always
Natalie was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, she's the best. Yeah.
But here's the thing: we're talking about the best patriotic songs. Chris already named one of them. James Brown, "Living in America," aka "These are the cities you can go to, Negroes." Cleveland, Ohio. Parts of Miami, Florida, but not those parts. Drive straight through Alabama. Don't look back. Hey, like this the extended version, James.
This is the Underground Railroad, brother.
Don't go to neither of the Dakotas. Hey, North Dakota State sucks. Ow. Like, damn, James told me I should have never took this job.
Montana through Montana to Canada.
But I got to give another shout out, an honorable mention, not only to Living in America, but also to the greatest rendition of the Star Spangled Banner ever by the Queen, Whitney Houston.
Greatest of all time, yeah.
Whitney killed that joint at the Super Bowl. Like, we got to respect that.
Thought you were gonna say Fergie.
Oh yeah, that word.
Like, what you doing, Fergie?
Yeah,
it's too many syllables.
Yeah, like if you were judging Fergie singing just based off of that, you would think she was the worst singer ever.
Right.
Yeah.
She can go, but yeah, that was. She might have been experimenting, but I'm like, yeah, this
not your famous moment, man.
No. But I would say, also shout out. There's a song that a lot of people haven't heard. Robert. I think it's Robert Bradley. Robert Bradley and the Blackwater Surprise have a song called America. He's like a blind singer from the South. He's like old. He may be passed away by this point. But it was like maybe about 10 years ago, came out with an album and had a song on it called America. And it was really good. It was very much like one of those America songs where you just naming stuff in America. He's like, the Blue Ridge Mountains, oh, they so beautiful. New York City skyscrapers, the LA Dodgers out there playing baseball. And it's like real kind of cliche, but the song is actually pretty good. Like purple mountains, majesty, ocean to ocean, sea to sea. I'm like, yes, I can see where you're going with this, Robert Bradley. But it was a good song, man. Make you feel patriotic. But I would say my favorite song, and Ray already mentioned it, when we talking about America. And it's crazy, Chris, that a blind man could see this country for what it is. I'm talking about Ray Charles. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, Chris.
Yeah.
For amber waves of grain. Purple mountain majesties above the fruited plains. I love like the last part of the song where Ray get really into it, and he just like, America. Yes, I'm talking to you, America. Like, we listening, Ray. We listening. Tell us what we need to hear as a people, Ray. But I think like it's funny because I think some of the best songs about America are from Black artists, Chris. And it's because you got that juxtaposition, that dichotomy that Ray and I talked about last week, where Black people are proud of America, are proud to be American, even when we're not proud of what America does, or proud of what America has been. And so when you got somebody like Ray Charles, who definitely suffered racism and the effects of racism and things of that nature, to be singing so strongly about his love for America, like it means something.
Yeah.
So, you know.
For me, it's like, with patriotism and all that, it's just you can ask me different days and different weeks. I feel different ways, you know.
Yeah,
we know old Redhead Ray is proud of America. Yeah. I don't know if you heard the last episode of the Kings of Sport, Chris, but Ray has officially started his own political group called MAHA. It's Make America Good Again with a soft G. It's like, not MAGA, it's MAHA.
Yeah, it's like the M and the two A's are uppercase, and then the G is lowercase.
Yeah.
MAHA. It's not MAGA, it's MAHA.
Yeah.
We're gonna make America good again. But you know what else is good, Ray?
What's
Talking
that?
about our favorite things in life, talking about these crazy wrestling theme songs, talking about songs that celebrate America, and feeding these damn ducks on the pond. Cut the music, Ray. All right. So that's going to start to wrap up things here for this week on the Parlay. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts, any plugs, anything anybody wants to share with the audience before we leave? And Professor, we always appreciate it when you got time, brother, and especially on a week like this where we talked about, kind of Lindsey Graham and a bit of his legacy in the current state of the Republican Party. Anything you would like to promote, brother?
Yeah, just promote my. It's getting dark over here now. Amazon Amazon guest bedroom lights on. So.
I was waiting for him to yell at some computer to turn on the lights.
Well, it was like when you turn the lights on during the day, they fight with each other, but now that it's starting to darken out over here a little bit.
Oh, Chris, old Captain Picard, the computer lights.
But anyway, yeah, just check me out on the Substack, and I got a couple new things coming out this week. I got something new coming out today on Michael Cohen. I'm done with the article. It's all just I'm proofreading it now. I'm about to print it. Okay. And then just I'm at 400 paid subscribers now, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, just keep on following. And I was thinking of some a wrestling thing to write, but I'm trying to wait to see what develops with this story before I write anything. But yeah, that's just check out both of the Substacks this week, and then check us out this Sunday this week. And there's so much stuff to talk about this week too, man.
That's right. I almost forgot it was an NWA week coming up.
And Baron Corbin's got his job back, man.
Yeah.
Happy he's got his job back, but I mean, why they have to bring him back beating up two Negroes, man? That was the thing that got on my nerves about Baron Corbin in the first place,
You got to stick to what you know, cuz.
I know, right?
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. But yeah, definitely follow Chris on the Substack, subscribe, become a paying subscriber if you have the means to do so, and then also check out the Nefarious Notions Substack that we got going on here at the network. Ray Williams, Mr. Maha himself.
Indeed.
Ray, what you got to promote to the people, including the new SBF YouTube channel, cuz.
Indeed. So you took the words right out of my mouth. Go ahead. If you are so inclined, go ahead. If you follow us here at Nefarious Media over on YouTube, go ahead and head on over to Styles Break Fights over on YouTube as well. Type it in the search bar. It should pop up as one of the channels. We got an upcoming episode. We did a live watch or I should say I did it, a live watch of UFC 329 with the return of this man. There's only one Conor McGregor. And so
he's only got one working knee.
Yeah, pretty much. After coming back from only having one working leg, one working femur. But
I guess that's the answer to the question about what would a one-legged man look like in an ass-kicking contest.
Indeed. But yes, I did a live watch of that, and we're going to have coming out this week myself and the good brother Main Event Jay Lacey reviewing the card, also having our thoughts about Conor, whether he will return or whether he'll go elsewhere, what's going on with the landscape of lightweight when it comes to Max Holloway and when it comes to also Paddy Pimblett, who picked up a big victory. So what's going to go on with Gable Stevenson, who picked up a big victory? What were some of our takeaways from the event? Spoiler alert, one of mine was sometimes good things happen to bad people. um, Especially considering some of the folks that are taking up space within the UFC right now, i.e. a Gable Stevenson, question
Oh,
mark.
I thought you was talking about Sophie Cunningham.
No, oh, that as well.
I always get stuff for not defending Gable Stevenson, but putting his thing in perspective. But that's a conversation for another day.
Well, we gotta talk. Ooh, we
I
gotta
was gonna say Chris might have to hop on SBF one week to talk to y'all about
back on the pod.
Yeah. I'm just saying this. It's like I'm a black man before I'm anything else, you know, and I am in I understand the believe women credo, but when you're talking about the women that have lied on black men and Mexican men the most, it has been white women. That is a fact. And that's all I got to say about that. We'll talk about it later.
Totally understand. We got to have you on the pod. Once he gets like a big fight, we got to have you on the pod to discuss it, bro. Professor. But yeah, you could go ahead, follow us. Be on the lookout for that pod between myself and Jay Lacey in the latest installment of Styles Break Fights. Also, I will be joining the aforementioned Kate from Montreal. I'll try to loop her in and try to get her to go to Redemption, see if she can head on up there for us. But,
undercover informant.
Indeed. But yes, I'll be joining her this coming weekend, I should say, for another edition of Collision Course, which you can find on the Post Wrestling channel as well as the Post Wrestling Cafe. And as the good brother Chris already mentioned, stay tuned to us on this coming Sunday for another edition of the Nubian Wrestling Advocates podcast, where, as he mentioned, we do have a lot to talk about. So that's all I got. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm under Mondo Dondo and the number 1. I'm also on Blue Sky under Two-Way Ray.
All right, good stuff, Ray Williams. Appreciate you, brother. For me, you can find me right here at the Nefarious Media Network. Next week, we should be back next Monday with an all-new edition of Super Salad, the comeback, with OG Rachel and myself and Ray Williams and maybe somebody else, a special guest, talking about Supergirl, which is out in theaters now. And it's rough on these streets, cuz. It's rough on these streets for our girl Kara. But we gonna talk about the movie, what we liked about the movie. There may be some things we didn't like about the movie. Ray actually went to see the movie, which might be the most surprising thing of all. So we're gonna talk about it. Supergirl, James Gunn's second feature film in the new DC universe. So we're gonna talk about it and have some fun with that. And then, as Ray and Chris both alluded to, this Sunday coming up, we'll be back on the Post Wrestling Network with another edition of the NWA podcast. So keep it locked to all of our socials for more news about that as we get closer to that date. But subscribe to all the channels, man. If you're watching us on YouTube now, hit that subscribe button. Click that bell notification so that way you always know when we go live. We go live almost every week with some type of programming here at the network. So we appreciate those that are tuned in and locked in every week. If you feel so inclined, subscribe to the Patreon. With $3, Ray Williams will get you in the door for over 300 hours of audio and video, exclusive content as well on the Patreon. We got a lot of stuff going on here. As Chris said, man, it's the level up year, so we're going to keep leveling up, and we appreciate everybody going on the ride with us. If you're already subscribed, let your friends know about the shows, and be sure to subscribe to us on IG, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, if you're still on Facebook, all of them socials, TikTok. We ain't did no TikToks in a little minute. We might have to get some old TikTok clips up, Ray.
Yes, sir.
What are we paying a TikTok bill for if we ain't using the TikTok every month, Ray?
Yeah, and why isn't there any clips up of Mercedes cussing me and Jay out?
Right,
I'm gonna get it.
She gave it to Jay a little bit worse than she gave it to me, though.
She did. But that was great. That was great.
It's you stupid, it's you dumb line. I was like, oh man, like that. It's an honor just to be insulted by one Mercedes Monet out here. Shout out to the CEO. But yeah, shout out to you for watching and listening to this edition of the Parley, proudly presented by the Nefarious Media Network. We are going to call it quits for this episode, but we'll be back on Sunday with the NWA podcast, and then Monday with Super Salad. So stay tuned. Keep it locked here for all of your news and notes for the world of sports, politics, pop culture, pro wrestling, everything in between. I want to give a special shout out, Ray, to my boys at North Dakota State. You know, I said a lot of things tonight, man. You know, people say things when they're emotional, but hey, we're gonna make it. We're gonna work hard. I know I called you the Aggies earlier, but we're the Bisons. You know, forgive me. We're such a small school that's inconsequential. I couldn't remember our mascot, but we're gonna do some things. If you see me talking to Kentucky or some of these other schools, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be here till I'm not here. Go Bison. So with that, and we might have to, like, behind the scenes, like, reach out to somebody like Bordeaux and stuff, man, because I think there's some interesting topics going on in the video game world now. We talked about it the last 2 episodes, ironically enough, which is something I didn't see on my bingo card, Ray. So we'll keep you posted on that front. And until then, for the Professor Chris from LA, for Two-Way Ray Williams, Maha for life, I am the Godfather Nate Milton. Appreciate y'all for tuning into the Parlay. Go Bison, and we'll see y'all next time. Hit the music, Ray. Mm-hmm.